5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
We find wrestling, one promotion, one event, one match at a time. We are the Indy Wrestling Experience with Bob and John. I am Bob. John, what's up, man?
Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's going on, Bob?
These new microphones, man. You sounding good over there.
Hey, you ain't sounding too bad yourself, Slick.
Woohoo! We finally invested a little something in this. I think last week with that damn with that control center that sounded so good, but my voice kept going in and out. I said, you know what? I'm done with this. We're going to get situated. We're going to sound good. So here we are.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah. We got Sampson coming on later. He is going to get us all set for, you could call this the UPW Go Home show, I guess, because they have Sunday the 17th at the UP State Fair, which we'll also cover in the control center. But Sampson will be here to tell us about that show, about some other matches he's had recently, one of which John and I watched. And yeah, it'll be good to catch up with old Sampson.
Yeah, man, we haven't talked to Sampson in a while. See how he's doing, and make sure we don't anger the giant, and we'll be good.
Yeah. Well, we teased a segment last week that I don't think we're doing. It didn't work out so well for us, John. Like we talked about this. We said, we're always so positive about everything that we see because we're wrestling fans, right? We're marks. I mean, from way back, right? So
that's right.
So
end of the day, man. That's us.
That's it. And so we said, okay, well, let's see if we can turn the tables a little bit. Let's turn heel. Let's talk about some stuff we don't like, or let's cut some promos on some people or whatever. But folks, I'm telling you, it just wasn't in me and John, man. We love wrestling too much. At least I do. Is that how you felt?
That's exactly how I felt, man. At the end of the day, we gotta be us, man. And if people are talking about us, oh, these guys are always positive. Man, it's just that's us, man. What are you gonna do? That's how we view this business. We got rose-colored glasses, right? Everything is cool. Everything has got a cool angle. And it's all depends on how you look at stuff. And you and I, we look at things from a positive spin, man.
Yeah.
There's good things with everything. I mean, there's bad with stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I stubbed my toe once walking into an indie show. It was terrible. But by and large, it ended up being a great show. So there's the good. What are you gonna do?
It's right. It's like the old Jackie Martling joke. Did I tell you about the worst blowjob I ever got? It was fantastic. That's kind of how I feel about wrestling. Like, it's the worst day at a wrestling show is still better than pretty much anything else for me.
Right. Listen, man, wrestling is pizza, right? Listen, there's gourmet pizza, and it is great. But guess what? Some cold Domino's, some cold corner pizza on a Saturday morning, it hits pretty good. So all scratches, different itches, but it's all pizza, baby.
Sure does. So we pivoted a little bit, and we've got some news and notes. We saw a bunch of stuff this week that we were like, all right, let's talk about it and see what we got. I wanted to start, John, with Priscilla Kelly has won her very first indie title since being released from WWE, and it just happens to be in our neck of the woods. Old Jimmy Ellsworth crowned a new women's champion at ACW.
I tell you, man. Great for old No Chin Music. You couldn't ask for a better wrestler to kind of head you up, right? I mean, Priscilla Kelly is a beast. She's a great wrestler. There's nothing else to say. She's a total package. I mean, what she can do in the ring, the move set, the psychology, the facials, the outfit, the character is fully fleshed out. Yeah, man, great move for old Jimmy Ellsworth, man. Bringing in somebody of this caliber and putting the strap on her. Hey, man, all props to you, Priscilla Kelly. That's amazing for you, and I'm sure it's going to be a great run.
Yeah, and amazing for us because that means we should at least, in theory, get the Priscilla Kelly
Hopefully.
Riley Crow rematch here in town. Maybe you know what I mean. I mean, I'll go. I'll be there for that.
I'm hoping. I am hoping, man.
But
I am hoping.
it's funny you mentioned Ellsworth because he, you could say what you want about James Ellsworth. He's an interesting character in the wrestling business, but he knows what he's doing when it comes to running this promotion. He does a lot of very cool things. They're always on tour. ACW is based out of, south of Baltimore, Glen Burnie, Pasadena, Maryland. These guys are running shows at baseball stadiums in Florida, and then they're hitting a damn, a festival in Ohio, and he's got these folks everywhere. But with this, the first thing I saw Jimmy Ellsworth post was Mercedes, we're looking for you. You want a 9th belt?
Hey, you better be careful what you wish for because the collector will come for you.
That's what I'm saying.
That lady is she does not play around when it comes to her belts. She likes to accessorize.
No, but I loved that was James Ellsworth's first move. I love that his first thought was, now we got Priscilla Kelly holding one of our belts. How can we level it up even further? I love that. I love people who think that way.
Dude, he's a great wrestling mind. I mean, nobody can take that away from him. The things he does with kind of the smaller area and the limited resources that he's got versus some of these bigger guys. Dude, he does some amazing, amazing things, and he really gets into some, like you said, he gets talent in there that you wouldn't expect. He gets into venues you wouldn't expect, and he does things that you don't expect at a smaller indie show.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, that's why everybody comes out. That's why his shows sell so well. That's I mean, he's just doing great things, man. So I know we like to pick at Ellsworth and throw the pot shots like everybody does, but I mean, real talk. I mean, James Ellsworth is amazing at what he's doing, and we're lucky to have him, here around us, locally, that we get to some of these really cool shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Something else I didn't even get to really ask you about before we started, but I put it in the notes. Kingsley, did you get a chance to look at Kingsley?
Kingsley
at the top.
I did not.
Okay.
No. I did not get a chance to pull that. I know you had said that, it was really kind of neat having somebody kind of coming out singing their own entrance. But I did not get a chance to look at that. No.
Yeah, and she's not the only one. You know what I mean? She's not the only one who comes out with a singing gimmick. Maki Ito does it, Becca does it, and so it's not like that's what makes her unique. I just like her charisma. She's from Australia. I think she's in Canada right now doing some stuff, and I don't know, her charisma. She had an Instagram where she had this blinged out microphone, a fan center. It's just, she's got a great, it's just a great setup, man. So you guys check out Kingsley_PW on Instagram. She's a fun follow, and she's quite a character, man. I really enjoy her. John, I'm interested in your thoughts if you get a chance to look at her.
I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. Something that's not as much fun, though, is the story that came out this week about Jonathan Gresham. That shit hit me like a ton of bricks, man. That was not on my bingo card for 2026, Jonathan Gresham having a stroke, or two.
No, two. As somebody that's, Gresham is not an old guy by any stretch of the imagination, and as somebody that's dealt with that kind of close to home. My wife had a bad stroke at 30. I know these things can kind of come out of nowhere. I read a little bit of the story. Kind of sounded like he was home alone. I mean, obviously we know who his wife is. She's I'm sure on the road and traveling, and listen, he's a lucky guy. I mean, it's a really good thing he's in the shape he's in, and takes care of himself like he does. It sounds like he got eventually got to the help he needed and got to the hospital. And I know his wife, he had said, was there when he woke up, which, shows her dedication to her husband to rush to his side. It's scary stuff, man. You don't want to see it happen to anybody, especially somebody that's, younger like that. And I mean, Gresham, dude, he's in the zone. He's in his prime. He's doing all these big things, and you hate to see a lot of things get cut short. And not saying, we don't know anything yet, so we don't know if anything's derailed as far as his career, but it's definitely on pause, and they hate to see it, man. You just really do. We wish him well, and man, speedy recovery.
Yeah. Yeah, as someone who's seen Gresham a lot, when we went through my Ring of Honor phase when he was there, and went to probably 10 live shows. And so I've seen Gresham a bunch, and I really, really respect his style in the ring. I respect the way he carries himself. Is he the kind of wrestler who is flashy and is going to end up on WWE? Probably not. His wife is probably better suited for that. But was he probably the best ROH pure champion you've ever seen? Yeah, he definitely was, right? So he's one of the best pure wrestlers. He's probably on the very, very short list with guys like Chad Gable and guys who are just outstanding technical wrestlers to their core. But I like Jonathan Gresham, and I think the world of him. The one thing that got me was, and maybe I'll lean on you here a little bit since you have some familiarity with it. The quote I saw from him was, "I'm going to take 3 or 4 weeks off until I can get my neurologist to clear me." There's no way that's happening, right? 3 or 4 weeks.
Hey, listen. Depending on the severity of the stroke, I mean, just from dealing with it with my wife. My wife was, now granted, against doctor's orders, back at work, within a couple of days.
I believe that.
I do hope he takes the time to get it properly checked and diagnosed, and kind of take the time to find out what caused it. What's the root cause? Say, hey, sometimes these things happen. They can be random. I mean, my kids, both of them, different thing going on in the brain, but a seizure. They've had them when they were little. It had, each one of them had one. Neurologist checked them out. Listen, we kind of, if one happens, we chalk it up to stuff happens. It's when it happens multiple times, we start to dig and look further. There were no underlying causes. There were no, kind of mitigating factors. This may be something that's a one-off for him, but I hope he gives the neurologist the time he needs to find that out. Get that clear conscience. And if his wife is anything like my wife, she'll have a little bit of something to say, and making sure he takes care of himself. So, again, more power to you, Jonathan Gresham, and speedy recovery, and man, just take the time to get it looked at right, man. Mm-hmm. Don't rush back. The stroke is not something to rush back from.
No, definitely not. And like I said, we're all hoping for a full and speedy recovery for Jonathan Gresham. Good luck to him and Jordan. I saw that note that she was filming NXT and then made it to Atlanta by the time he woke up. That's, like you said, that's dedication.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, some more positive news. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, at the Monster Factory this weekend. The Larry Sharp Memorial Cup, the Larry Sharp Memorial Tournament 2025 at the Monster Factory about 4 days ago. Over the weekend, the Notorious Mimi wins the Larry Sharp Memorial Cup by defeating David Goldie, Christian Darling, and then a fatal four-way in the main event with Chris Desmond, Liam Black, and Lucas Twitch DeSangro to become your new Monster Factory Heavyweight Champion. Not Women's Champion, Monster Factory Heavyweight Champion. I believe the first female woman to do that in history, and as I'm looking down, I think she is.
Yep,
that's awesome.
First for the Monster Factory, absolutely. Man, it's one, we love Notorious Mimi. You and I kind of rave about her on here, anytime she pops up. Great. And we're expecting, much higher levels from her in the near future. But boy, does it suck it came at the expense of our boy, right?
Uh-huh.
But hopefully that kind of frees him up for what you and I kind of think is on the way for him, which is a big time run.
Yeah.
So, hey man, great job all around for everybody. I can't wait to see this match. I'm sure it's going to be a off the walls banger, man.
I'm curious about something. I wonder if it's up yet. Monster Factory is famous for putting their shows right on YouTube. And I'm wondering if they'll do that with a show like this. Just a quick. There it is. Yeah. No, the whole thing is up on their YouTube channel, John.
Uh-oh. Guess what John's doing after we record tonight?
You know what? Actually, I was going to propose that we do a watch along episode next week in our little meeting after this show. Do you want to watch this next week?
Then let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, cool. That'll be awesome. 2 hours and 36 minutes. You know, it's shorter than we usually go, John, but we'll make it fit, you know?
Well, you know, I mean, I guess.
Well, there you go, guys. There's our production meeting. You just heard it live on the show. Next week, we're gonna watch the Monster Factory Pro Wrestling Larry Sharp Memorial Cup Tournament 2025. It is on Monster Factory's YouTube channel. I will post links. How about this one? So I'm still kind of catching up on this story. I don't know if you found more about it than I did when I sent you stuff, but Mercedes Moné shows up this past weekend at an all-women show put on by Athena.
That's what I read, man. You know, old 8 belts herself, right? Isn't that what she's going by now?
Yep.
Yeah. Again, you know, this is what we were just talking about earlier with Priscilla Kelly and Ellsworth, right? That, man, don't dangle a belt out there. Don't show it off. Don't you know? Don't say her name 3 times because she may show up. Yeah. You know, I did see a picture online that was you know, Mercedes standing in the ring with Athena. You know, both of them with their belts, and that is not a match I would hate to see.
No, I'm here for it.
It looked phenomenal, and you know, I love the fact that, you know, AEW is letting the talent kind of pursue other things as well. You know, I think it's one of the things you and I kind of lament about WWE is that everybody's so locked in. You know, and they try to put a stranglehold on, you know, what these guys can do and, you know, things they can't do. I mean, all the way down to, you know, look at the number of female talent that's left over the social media policy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the fact that these wrestlers have some free reign to pursue other things really shows their creativity. I think it lets them flex their own creative muscles and you know, reflects in the bookings that they take and the appearances they make. Dude, it's just a win for you and I. You know, if I can watch a big show and see somebody and, you know, oh, that's interesting. Oh, they showed up at my local, you know, brewery because there was a belt that was nice and shiny. Dude, I'm down. I'm following that performer. That wins me over, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, you know, I mean, you hit it right on the head. It's like, you know, you're an indie wrestling fan, and you have a promotion near you. A lot of us call it our home fed. You know, mm-hmm. And you go and you see things, and you kind of know what to expect. You know, event to event, and you get into a rhythm. But when something like that happens, and somebody like Mercedes Moné shows up, or JBL shows up unannounced, and they just do a run in at your show, it's like, you know, the old logic on the house shows when, you know, we were kids. They would every now and then they'd change some titles on some house shows so that the people who went to the house shows wouldn't automatically assume that there's not going to be any title changes. You want to assume anything can happen. And that gives, this is sort of a similar thing for indie fans now. You go to your local bingo hall or your local whatever you want to call it, and you know, Shotzi Blackheart runs in with a cast on that says Indie God. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, holy shit, Shotzi's here, man. Like, what the? And it does. It gives you the sense that that anything can happen at one of these shows. And the more of these big stars that are willing to do it, and more of these big companies like AEW that are allowing the talent to do it so well, I think it's a win. It's a win-win for everybody, like you said. And it looks like they're booking Looks like they're booking another show for October. What did they say? What is it? October 25th. Who Runs the World 2? So you got to assume that, a lot of these folks will be back here at this show. I'm certainly going to drive some interest for Athena's Metroplex Wrestling promotion, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
And the fact that, Mercedes Moné is willing to, do this promotions and make those appearances. I like the camaraderie, man. I really do. On a business level.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously something she didn't have to do or take, but she, I'm sure, has a connection to Athena. I'm sure they know each other, and she was willing to help out and make the appearance. That's awesome.
Yes. Yep. Agreed. And I'm not the biggest Mercedes Money fan, the biggest Sasha Banks fan at all. But I do enjoy this little run that she's doing, collecting belts. There's a very Ultimo Dragon sort of feel to it. Of course, she's actually collecting them one by one, but what else we got on the list? Oh, this is what you and I were talking about on Saturday, our last little thing on the list here. I'm so excited, man. AEW is doing Series 1 LJN type figures. I thought, did you say you went and saw prices?
No, I did not, but I will be looking, that's for sure. I think what you and I talked about was me being afraid to get anywhere near these because I will end up in divorce court.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
Start with one. It only takes one, Bob.
Here I'm looking at one. AEW's Big Rubber Guy Sting, $50 for pre-order. Which isn't really terrible, to be honest with you. The full series bundle of 4. So they're doing, okay. So the series is Tony Storm, Will Ospreay, Hangman Adam Page, and Sting. Well, there goes $200 of mine. Oh, it looks like pre-orders ended last weekend, so I guess I'll have to wait till they come out. But we were just talking about this, on the show a little while ago too, man, about how, these figures were part of our childhood and you can't really do much with them, but I didn't give a shit. I didn't care. And these figures here are very much the ones I'm seeing. The shape of them look very much like the old ones. Sting's arms are both up. Tony Storm's doing sort of an arm thing. Like, you're gonna have to, if you want to fight with these guys, they're gonna have to actually move them. These kids who don't know about the LJN figures, they're gonna have to move these things around. It's very difficult to move them around.
Now, you'll know probably off the top of your head. I'd have to look, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer. These guys, this line is made by a company called Major Bendy's.
Mm-hmm.
And they're associated, so they're affiliated with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. Isn't that Cardona? And
it is.
And I mean, I know I've loved watching those guys on their hunts and their figure hunting, and so the fact that they're kind of getting in on it now, that's awesome for them, man. That's congrats, guys. That's taking it to a whole new level. Not only am I going to collect it all, now I'm going to start. I want to start making. I can't find what I want, so I'm going to find somebody that can make it for me, and I'm going to sell that because I know everybody else wants it too. Awesome.
I had no idea. See, now I'm not a toy guy, right? John's the toy guy, not me.
Right.
I had no idea how big the market was until just very recently for people repainting these blank rubber figures into other things. I had no idea. It's huge.
Yes, sir. Huge.
Have you ever tried to paint one?
Huge. No. Dude, I listen, I mess up a stick figure. So, my artistic talent is less than 0. Mm-hmm. So I leave that to professional type people. I'm really good. The only dexterity I have is signing my name on checks. That's about as good as I get, So that's it. But yeah, the things that people do, it's amazing. And the level of fandom that's out there for these, dude, if you start getting into that rabbit hole, you'll never get yourself out. Especially because I know how much you love those specific type figures, and I know how much I like them, which is why I stayed away from them, because I know what the price tag on those is. It's enough to get me in a lot of trouble. So, me being the completionist that I am, if I start with one, it's not going to stop until I've got them all, and it's already causing me trouble. I mean, you and I saw each other not too long ago, and last weekend, and you saw a few boxes that may have been laying around my garage.
One or two.
One or two.
One or two complete sides of the garage full of boxes, by the way, guys. One or two complete sides of the garage full to the ceiling of boxes that just say cars on the outside of them, or or
Masters of the Universe, or Transformers, or G.I. Joe, or I have a sickness.
Hey,
but I have thus far avoided the wrestling figures. Not because I don't want them, because I can't take on another one. I can't. Which means that probably by the next podcast I'll have more than I know what to do with.
Yep. There's no doubt that's coming, guys. Me and John are gonna be in his living room bouncing these figures across the room here in about 2 weeks.
So by the time we get to the point where we've got a studio, that's gonna be behind us. That's it. So yeah.
I don't collect belts like Conrad. I'm not a belt guy either, but that's Lauren's thing,
Well, opinions, baby.
The one thing I was going to say about the LJN figures is, kind of a running theme on the show has been me and my psychoses, and the fact that anytime I love anything, all I do is organize it. I think back to being a kid, and when I had like 40 or 50 of these wrestling LJNs in my bin. And I remember printing one day an entire list of every possible match between every single one of these competitors. Wrestler 1 versus Wrestler 2, 3, 4, 5, 39. Wrestler 2 versus Wrestler 3, 4, 5. Wrestler 3 versus 4, 5, 6. And it was just this big, long list on dot matrix printer paper. You remember the green and white paper, John, that had no purpose?
Yeah, but you gotta peel the sides, baby.
Yep, I would have Royal Rumbles with these things and have them lined up 40 deep. I
was gonna say I can specifically remember being at your house and having a Royal Rumble with these guys, and this is how bad it is, everybody. Not only can I remember him having all these figures, I can tell you what the toy box that it was in. It was the big round toy box, and the top of it looked like a mountain, and your car drove down it. Dude, it's ingrained in my brain.
That's still in it.
That's how much I know we played with that stuff at your house back in the 80s, man.
Holy shit, that's funny. They're still in that same container right now. I'm sitting here looking at them in that same. The mountaintop has disappeared, though. I don't know where the mountaintop went.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I was at my local toy store, hardware store.
Yeah, right. Yes, guys, for tools.
Looking for tools, and somebody may have had an old one of those toy boxes on the shelf that I thought I had to walk away, but I thought for a second it may come home with me. But they had the top, though, Bob. If you had that top, I can tell you what it's worth, and I'll tell you off air, because you want to invest in your future.
No, you're kidding me.
Dude, it was mid three figures, baby.
Whoa!
They wanted $3.99.
I bet my parents paid $9 for that thing.
Dude, it's, nostalgia does not come cheap, man.
Wow. And we did. We used to drive our little cars up and down it like it was new every time, and it was all it did. It went up the mountain and down the mountain.
That's it.
That is so awesome, man.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
The LJ figures making the comeback. I like it, man. One, just any nostalgia for our early wrestling fandom, I'm down for. And dude, I like the simplicity of these. I really do. It's if you and I played with these back in the day, it was all imagination, man. We had a vehicle for our imagination, and these things now, and it's any toys, it's anything that any of the kids have. The imagination's gone out of it. I mean, not that these things aren't cool. I mean, I know I have some updated, GI Joe or Transformers or whatever that are absolutely amazing, but they do all the things that you used to imagine they would do. And while that sounds cool as an adult, you're like, but that was you realize that was a lot of the fun was the creativity that you put into the toy. And like you said, the matchmaking that went on. We had rumbles, and we had, the guys weren't going to do the moves. You couldn't pose them to do the moves like you can now. So we had to, it's Rook to Queen's Bishop 3, Savage from the top rope with the elbow. It was awesome, man. It was, so everybody, if you're into it, look into them because they're going to be awesome and they're gonna go fast. If you're interested in them, I suggest you start looking now because the price on them is going to jump.
Yeah, no, and especially once WWE starts counter programming AEW on this too, then they're really going to be expensive. Yep. You're only going to be able to get them at WrestleMania Access for $1,000 a piece or something.
Man, don't get me going.
No, man, Evil Empire, it's ridiculous. It's just it gets worse every day. And I'm just glad that all of this stuff with WWE just completely milking its fans. I wish I'm glad that it's coinciding with a boom period creatively for AEW because I'm really enjoying watching AEW right now. I am having no problem skipping the WWE stuff. The pay-per-views have been lackluster. Yeah, and all
like you said, the product's been lackluster, and dude, they are pricing. They're pricing me out. And I'm average fan, man. I'm Joe Average. I've got, I save up my scratch. I put it towards, the things I want. And WWE is one that's always been the thing. The network, the move to Peacock, then you got to get the Hulu, and now they want to move PLEs. And I got to get ESPN. It's too much, man. It's the pricing is crazy, and it just screams cash grab. And I just got to think I can't be the only guy that's just tired. I'm just tired, man. Mm-hmm. It's fatigue.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's killing us, man. They're gonna take it away from us. I remember here in DC, I remember when the Redskins, now the Commanders, moved out to FedEx Field and everything was so overpriced and nobody could get in there and whatever. And it was just, and now they don't have a wait list anymore. So, I mean, that's how I feel about this. I feel like they're just running it into the ground. And at the same time, well, the one I'm interested in your opinion on this. I don't want to go deep because we could probably talk for 2 hours about this, but I did see this morning someone say, or I saw an article that ESPN has expressed interest in the library as well now. So if it's $29.99 a month and they end up with the network, that's not the end of the world. I mean, yeah, I'd still have to watch Raw on Netflix, and I still think the network's going over to Netflix, but I don't know. I wouldn't be as sour on this if this ESPN deal included a guarantee that the network itself was moving over there, even without live Raw and SmackDowns. I'd be better with it than I am right now. But that's
not for me. It's not only just the price and the pricing. For me, it's the spreading it out over so many, we're going to sell this piece here, and we're going to sell this piece to Hulu, and we're going to sell this piece to Tubi, and we're going to sell this piece to, Peacock. And man, I don't want to. Streaming was supposed to be the way to get away from cable, these great big bundles of shit that you had these couple of things, this was, man, you a la carte, man. You get what you want, you pick what you want, and now you're forcing me back to the bundles of stuff. I don't want all that stuff. I'm the old man shaking my, get off my lawn. I don't want to have to search through all this. I don't want to have to remember 15 different places and days to watch this, watch that. What it if the product was really really good and it was must watch, I'm sure I would find a way to do it. It's not. It's not must watch for me. WWE, don't get me wrong. Rumble comes out, I'm going to watch it. I like it. Hell in a Cell, I'm going to watch. A big name. They got a big guest coming on Raw. I'm going to watch. But by and large, dude, there's no storylines that are grabbing me. There's no action that I've got to see. It's just not there for the price point for me anymore.
Agreed.
It's just not. And we're lifelong fans. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, we can't be the only ones. So
no. And I tell you, this is and this is my thing, right? Like, I'll say this delicately, but all of these different directions, like you talked about, we got to go to Tubi for Evolve. We got to go to Peacock for this. We got to go to Netflix. We got to go to ESPN. Like all these different places to find the content. I'm not so concerned about the cost, although I don't really like that I'm being, raked over the coals for that much money. I can live with the cost. Like I've been an early advocate of the streaming in the first place. I don't mind the fact that I generally pay probably twice what I was paying for cable now because I get what I want and for the most part. And so I'm okay with that. But having to go to all these different, like I don't go to Tubi to watch Evolve because it's just another place I got to go, right? But the point that I'm making very long-winded here is it's constantly reminding me every day when a new story like this comes out from WWE, it constantly reminds me that there is at least one place where I can still go and watch it all for free. And that may be where I just go do it. I don't like doing it. I like supporting these businesses. When I go to a new indie promotion, I always at least buy one thing of merch. Like I like supporting businesses because I want that synergy there. I want them to come back. I want them to keep doing what they do. But here, man, I think it's reached the upper limits of what I can handle. It's just, why not go watch it in the one place that carries everywhere and pay-per-views all free?
When you and I saw each other on Saturday, we were talking about what was the ticket price for the 2-day SummerSlam we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. It's front row. I get that. You're going to pay a premium. Dude, almost $20,000 was like, what, 16?
Mm-hmm. One seat.
For a seat, brother. I mean, I get you're going to have fans and you're going to have some high roller fans, but that's even beyond that limit. That's I don't know, man. That is just so far priced the normal average fan. It is stretching and scrimping and saving, a dad trying to take his kids to SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's you're taking out loans to get those seats in the rafters. You are. I mean, it's just.
I told you.
Again, these are the prices. These are the prices they're having to charge to recoup their money on the purchase of the business. I get it, but I don't understand it. I really don't.
No, I think you do understand it. You just don't like what you understand. I mean, I think you know what I mean. Like it's just.
Okay, I went to business school. Yes, I understand. Don't be that dick, Bob. Don't be that guy.
I'm the lawyer, man. What do you want me to do? I'm a lawyer. Right? But yeah, no, 100%. And we were talking about before. I was going to go up there to New Jersey for SummerSlam. And they had that Project X show, the 4-promotion Project X show going on each day beforehand. And I was going to go up and do all of it. And then I went looking for tickets for SummerSlam, and it was like $120 to sit at the very, very top. And I said, what? Yep. And I just went to All In Texas. I paid $120, and I was like 13 rows from the front.
Yeah.
On the field.
That's one of the things, like I said, I think that's where AEW is winning a lot of us over. And now, like you said, now that the the creative seems to be catching up, hey man, I got the switchover feels, man. I'm ready to jump ship and back a new dog.
Yeah.
So,
Me too. And I tell you
I'm
what,
there.
speaking
So
of backing a new dog, I'm going to this TNA show on Friday night, and I'm thinking, and as much as I paid for, I told you, as much as I paid for those tickets, I don't know that now they're backed by WWE, and all of a sudden it's $100 to go to a TNA show. So the only reason I had a personal reason why I needed to be out of the house for a couple of days this weekend, so I went ahead and did it. But I won't do it in the future. It's crazy for me. Last time I saw a TNA taping, I paid like $25, and I was 6 rows back at the 2300 arena. You know what I mean? Again, here I am. Now I'm up in the
nice.
bowl, and it's $100 a piece, and it's fine, but it's just
I'm with you. I had tickets for the Friday. What is that?
emergence.
Elevation, Emergence. I had tickets for that. I want to say I paid like $75 a ticket, and that was not. I mean, it was it's not the rafters, but it's not super close.
Wait, y'all are going?
No, I was just me. I was going. I think you and I got tickets separately.
Yeah, because I thought British said you couldn't go. That's why I got mine. I didn't even ask you guys.
I had to resell mine. I got a medical procedure Friday, so I'm not going to be able to go out Friday. I've got the camera down the throat. So they're putting me out. I'm not going to be in any shape to get to Baltimore on a Friday evening.
You want to go? You want to go Saturday? I think the seat next to mine Saturday is still for the TV taping. If you think you'll be back up,
I don't know what. I don't know what I'm doing Saturday. With the boss. So
yes, man, yes, sir. I get it.
But yeah, no. Emergence was the one I was looking for, and like I said, this just kind of popped up, unfortunately, out of nowhere to have to do. And
yeah, you can't not. But you got to do it.
No, but I was looking forward to seeing some cool matches. The Rascals and the Hardys.
Oh yeah.
I was looking forward to. But hey, just like we were saying about Gresham, man, you got to take care of your stuff, and we're not young, in shape guys like Gresham. So if I got something that pops up, I gotta take care of that stuff.
Did you get most of your money back on the resale?
Yeah, I didn't lose anything. It broke even.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, no. I sold it for what I paid for it. I'm not gouging anybody. I'm not making anything. So
yeah, I've just been going back and forth on the TV taping the next night. I don't know if I'm going to want to do both, unless, like I said, if you pop up Saturday, maybe. But I don't know. I'm just like, I'm really excited. I'm the same as you. I'm excited for Emergence, but I bought both because I thought I needed to be out of the house for both days, and I don't know that I necessarily need to now. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with it. But
I get it.
Well, let's move on. We talked about this before as we were changing the show around, checking out some new things. So we've killed the and new segment just because the posts have been doing so well, and people seem to like being congratulated on Instagram for these things. And also, my metrics tell me people skip through that part of the show sometimes. So, so we're going with something a little bit different here. And since the rankings are such a big thing for the Indy Wrestling Experience and what draws eyes to us, I figure why not every week or so, instead of doing the and news, maybe we'll take a look and do a spotlight on a promotion and their rankings and how they got to be that way. I'm not going to tell you guys how what formulas I use for this and that and the other or whatever, but just to take a look at a promotion and get a spotlight on them. And I decided purely, John, because there's a couple of folks at Nickel City Wrestling who we're going to take a look at right now, who see the rankings every month and post and get very excited about them and then talk shit at each other about them. And I love that so much.
It's all about interaction, man. We love it.
It is. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to start, actually, I'm going to go backwards. Did I put so I'm going to do the women first.
That's how I got mine too.
Good. Okay, so your women's champion is JC Storm. Your top 5 are Ava Brooks, number 1, Zandra Lee, ranked number 2, Mercy Beelan, ranked number 3, Vanity, ranked number 4, and Nahir Robles, ranked number 5. There's not a ton of people. There's not a lot of people to rank at Nickel City when it comes to women, but it was easy this month because the top 4, Ava, Zandra, Mercy, and Vanity, were all in a top number 1 contender match. and the number one contender match ended in a no contest. And Ava Brooks was already my number one contender. She's going to stay there. Zandra Lee is the former champion. I don't see her getting the belt back. Maybe I'm wrong. But what I started with was Ava Brooks is one of the ones who saw her number one contendership, and then she started talking shit to Zandra Lee on Instagram or on Twitter or something like that. I saw, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. Tell her you are the true number one contender. Yes, get that belt. I know that we've seen Zandra because we watched her at UPW. And I know we saw Nahir Robles recently at ACW. Have you seen any of these other three women?
Right. I haven't, other than looking into them, for the show, to get some notes, some thoughts on them. No, these were all new to me, new performers to me. So, I don't have a lot of knowledge on them, just a couple of, thoughts here, there,
What you got?
Well, we'll start off. I got, a couple of them I just wanted to, put my 2 cents on. We'll start with your number 5 on this list, Nahir Robles. What can we say? We love Nahir. We love Nahir.
Yes, we do.
Her. She's great. She is absolutely as advertised. She moves really well in the ring and utilize what I call, because I'm not trying to offend any ladies here, but Nahir uses what I call the big man move set, and you as a wrestling fan know what I'm talking about. Big power moves. She looks great. Like I said, man, I love the look. I love the power. So Nahir, we're here for you.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you got for Nahir? You got anything for here?
Oh,
Nahir,
I mean,
I'm
kind of the same way as you. I mean, like I said, we saw Nahir. We've talked about Nahir. She's kind of everywhere, and once you see her, you start to realize how everywhere she is. There's a lot of performers that are like that.
Oh,
and I think the world of her. We saw her win that Fire Queen of Maryland tournament. And that was a lot of fun.
Goosebump moment, man. It was what it seemed like it meant to her by the end of the night. It was pretty cool to be part of. So Nahir's great.
Yeah. And like I said, I know Ava Brooks is young. She's an up and comer. I don't know much about Mercy Beelan. I need to find out more about her. But I do know that.
Go ahead.
I do know that Vanity had a shot at JC recently for the women's title and missed. I'm not sure if she's on her way up or on her way down here. I
got Mercy Beelan. I didn't find a whole lot on her, and kind of seems like, from what I could find, she's new to NCW. I mean, she hasn't been in Nickel City very, very long. But I'll tell you what, she's got some big aspirations, man, because she jumped right in and ended that, with that no contest with Ava Brooks and Zandra Lee. She's got good size, good power. She looks good. I love her intro. She was actually I think her most recent one I saw, or their most recent match, was another banger with Ava Brooks over in House of Pain Wrestling.
Okay. What'd you think of Ava?
Dude, Ava's ridiculous.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm with you. Ava is, if she's not, I see why she's your number one contender. And I don't think it's going to be long before we're saying that's our champ and everybody's chasing. I really do. But yeah, Mercy Beelan, I think is one that's one to watch. She's doing nothing but gaining experience right now. And as she gets it, these other ladies, watch out.
Yeah.
But yeah, your champ, JC Storm, she looks great gear, man. Looks awesome. Just in the last couple matches, I mean, she's beat your number 4. She's beaten Vanity. She's got a 3-way. She's beaten Ava and Zandra back in June. I also had a note going back to October. She's got a win over Zandra Lee again and Haley J.
Hollywood, yeah, that's when she won the belt, right?
Hollywood is no joke. So she definitely, at the moment, seems to have a grip on that title, and everybody's chasing. But I'll tell you what, I'm with you. She better watch her back for Ava Brooks.
I agree. I'm with you on JC Storm too, and I didn't mean to gloss over her. She's a good champion.
Mm-hmm.
She's got charisma off the charts, and
Yeah.
I really think that I don't know. I don't know that Ava Brooks is going to take that belt off her because JC Storm is pretty firmly planted there, and she's like you said, she beat Haley J. She's no joke, and she's going to hold on to that belt as tightly as she can. Like you said, that's when she won the title. So we're coming up on a year of JC Storm being champion. So maybe this is when Ava's going to get that title.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the let's just since I'm doing this around, we'll do the tag team. Your tag team champions for Nickel City are limited edition. That would be Chris Caden and Hellcat. These guys are, so in my rankings, John, and it says at the bottom of the sheet, the people who have been performing mostly in tag teams for the last 12 months are de-emphasized for my singles ranking. So if you got a guy who is, like here in MCW, if Ken Dixon is in a tag team with Joe Keys, they're going to be off the rankings. But the moment that tag team breaks up, Ken Dixon's going to be your number 2 contender again. And, that's kind of how this works here. So, and I say that because Chris Caden and Hellcat are, from what I can tell, they're both veterans. They've been around a long time, former champions. Caden's a guy who just carries titles for this company. Hellcat is a former NCW champion. I didn't see a lot of them together because they haven't really been teaming together that much. They're just one of those teams that's, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, or you know what I mean, like two of your big bad veteran guys, your stars, and now they're just going to just dominate. That's how I felt about seeing them. Did you get a chance to look at either one of these guys or them together? I didn't find much.
I didn't find much at all. I know Hellcat specifically is a former champ. I've actually got a note about, just kind of, one of the guys that took that off of him. But yeah, as far as the tag team, like you said, it's just not, wasn't a whole lot out there, man. I'd love to get into it and see it. From what I can tell from Hellcat, I mean, the guy is legit. So I would imagine they're great to watch. I didn't, in the limited time we kind of threw this together, it's not anything that I was able to kind of dig up a bunch on. So
it's
the tag.
Right. And I'm guessing there's going to be more coming. Nickel City's got plenty of stuff on their YouTube channel. There's lots of stuff available to see. I know that they won a Fatal 4-Way for those titles, and then defended it against one of the teams that was in that Fatal 4-Way. So they've been, where am I at here? Oh, yeah. So the Kingdom of Evolution was in that Fatal 4-Way, and then they got a shot here at this most recent pay-per-view, and they lost. Like I said, these two guys with the pedigree they have at Nickel City, I can't see anybody taking these belts off them anytime soon unless they implode.
Right.
But I don't have the pencil.
Or the new guys show up. So
that's
yeah.
That's
yeah. If they show up, it's over. Game over.
Those belts are gone.
Gone.
Yep. The new guys and Mercedes show up. You can have no more belts.
No more. Nope.
So looking at this top 10, I know you said you had a comment about the guy that took that belt off of Hellcat, which we're going to get to here. The one thing I noticed is I'm looking at this top 10, and as I was kind of going through these guys, I don't know if you got the same feeling, but there's a very stark mix on this roster of veterans and young talent, young lions, whatever you want to call them. Right. Like if you look at this top 10, I would say half of them are under the age of 25 and half of them are probably over the age of 35. Like that's not a judgment. That's not me being negative. It's just like they got a lot of veterans here who I believe probably teach these young guys a lot of things and really bring them along to get them to the next stage. Absolutely. That's what it feels like goes on here. Caden and Hellcat are two of those guys that look like they've been around for a while. They are familiar with Nickel City. They help carry titles for them. And two of the guys at the very top of my men's rankings this month, number 1 and 2, Milliman is your Silver Linings champion, your secondary title. And DeLatin Soldier, who is the former NCW champion, who won the title from Hellcat, as I sit up John, and just recently lost it. Didn't recently lost it, but lost it to Mad Dog, who I'll talk about in a second.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Latin Soldier? Milliman? What do you think of these guys?
The Latin Soldier is a beast. The guy, he's been around for a while. He's a solid vet. Man, just had their last big event had a great team up with Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Hernandez. So they actually took it to the guy that's the champ now, and Dakota Orion, which I'm sure you've got some good things to say about. I know he is he's a serious contender as well. He's got nice size, moves well, even though he's got all that wear on his body. He's a power guy, so he takes some hellacious bumps, but man, he looks good. And he's definitely trying to get back in that title picture, man. He held the title for almost a year. He had it took it from Hellcat back in August of 24, held it all the way through June of this year. So, he's a guy that can carry the company, carry that title. He's had it. He ran with it, put a lot of guys down while he had it. So, I know he's itching to get back what he thinks is his. So.
Yeah,
and we'll go from there. But yeah, the Latin Soldier is legitimate, man, for sure.
Yeah, he's one of those veterans on that squad. You can tell just really helps carry things. I think Mad Dog probably has benefited from that. But Mad Dog, the champion's got a hell of a look too, man. This kid looks good.
Yeah, he's definitely got the look of a guy to lead your locker room. That's for sure.
It's a very good way of putting that too. I really think a lot of him. He's been champion 61 days. He won it from the Latin Soldier and then defended it against Latin Soldier. And then at the last thing, that was where he teamed up with Hernandez, right? And they were in that main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were in that main event. Yep.
So the Latin Soldier and the main event and the whole title picture. It's all tied together, And like you said, Dakota Orion was in that as well. We'll talk about him in a second. Milliman's a guy I wanted to just touch on real quick because I hadn't seen Milliman before. We started doing these rankings and I got to take a quick look, but I just like his body language, his wild looking, this creepy vibe that he's got. He's another one, veteran guy carrying the brand. I don't know. He hasn't been champion. I don't think he's been that Silver Linings champion terribly long. Yeah, okay, since April, and he beat Shadow Jr., who we're going to talk about in a second as well. I think Milliman looks good too. I like having these two guys at the top of your card for sure.
Absolutely.
Number 3, Tyler Prince is another guy who is very, very happy to see his rankings each month for Nickel City, and I think the world of him. I think he's a good young talent who really has a lot going on. He's ranked number 3 this month, and he's ranked number 3 because he won a 5-way steel cage scramble a couple of months ago. Then he won a 6-way number 1 contender scramble to get this shot at Milliman, which he lost, but that was his shot. I moved him up to number 3 with that recent hot streak. It looks like he's not going to be in the title picture again at this next upcoming show. Tyler, I hope you're not too upset if you fall in the rankings this month after this impressive rise. But I think this kid's going to be back. He's going to challenge Milliman. He's going to challenge Mad Dog. He's going to be around. I really like this kid. Did you get a chance to see him?
No, I didn't get much chance to check out, a ton of these guys.
Yeah.
But Prince's name came up more than once. Same with the next guy on your list. Heard a lot of good news online, about this kid. So
Shadow Jr., man.
The look is amazing. I love the look.
Me too.
And the few clips that I saw, I know one of your notes is a high flyer in the making. I don't think he's in the making. I think he's there. The kid is all. He is flying, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one of the things I was watching, they said he was the Nickel City 2024 Rookie of the Year. So, this kid is the Rookie of the Year last year. Like, He's another one. Like you said, might be getting set to leave the promotion, leave the locker room.
You're not kidding.
And then number 5, Kodiak is your new Silver Linings number 1 contender after he won a multi-man match while Milliman was beating Tyler Prince. Kodiak defeated CJ Settles, Enel, Jake Payne, and Sampson Alexander and Wolfie in a 6-way scramble for that number 1 contendership. But dude is just big and nasty and just, I love big nasty heels.
Yeah, Kodiak is one of the guys I definitely I took a dive on and did a little bit more look into. His former member of the Crimson Kingdom faction there. He's got a long history with another guy on this list, Ace Gervais. No love lost there. Back in March, he was in a tag team with Shadowcat. And apparently they had a number 1 contender rumble, and at the end of that rumble there was some words exchanged, and him and Shadowcat are not partners anymore. So, but he is. I have my note here is he's a big boy. He is not a little man, and he just. The clips I saw, dude, he mauls guys. It's awesome to watch.
He does.
It's just, and his style is perfect. You see a lot of big guys that want to work small. He's slow. He's methodical, and like I said, man, he comes out that Kodiak mask that he has is awesome. And he just comes out to eat, man. He just comes out to feed. He is in there just to beat people up. I love it.
Me too, man. Me too. Now, you mentioned number 6 earlier, Dakota Orion. I don't know. I didn't get too deep into define if Dakota Orion was out with an injury or not, but he had been out of Nickel City for a while, former NCW champion, but he returns, and they immediately put him in that main event with Hernandez and Latin Soldier and Mad Dog, so he's clearly important to them. You go back, he's former NCW champion. He's got quite a history with Nickel City. And you mentioned him earlier, but yeah, I think Dakota Orion is another one of those guys that really he carries himself in the ring like you look at him and you can tell he used to be the champion. Something I don't know how to put that, but
yeah, I agree. He like you said, the way he stepped back in, they view him as an important player. He views himself as an important player, and he carries himself that way. He's another guy that in that locker room they can't take lightly. I mean, he could make a run and get right back to the top again. Like you said, I couldn't find anything. I don't know if he was out injured. I don't know if he was kind of taking some time. I don't know if he was, in other promotions. But yeah, the guy's a pro, man. So, he's not somebody that anybody in that locker room, younger or older, can take lightly.
And another guy that's kind of like that, but younger, Jake Payne, number 7. He's been in this promotion for about a year, but it's the same thing, like where you can tell by the way he's positioned that they think highly of him. He keeps getting number 1 contender opportunities. He keeps getting title matches. He hasn't won one yet, but he's like that guy. I mean, eventually, it's a numbers game. Eventually he's going to hit and it's going to be cool. And if he hits one of those damn rainmakers, I saw him hit, Milliman with a rainmaker that just knocked my socks off. So if he hits somebody, Jake hits you with one of those, you are in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and see if I can find that, or if you've got it, you have to shoot that clip over to me. I'd love to see that. Rainmaker is one of my guilty pleasure moves, man. I love it.
It's right. It's great.
It's so, but it's awesome.
Yep. Let's see who else. Oh, so Ace Gervais, you were talking about him earlier. Number 8, I like him. I put in the notes, I called him a demon Jeff Hardy, which, I mean, that's how I felt about him. What did you think?
Dude, he's probably got the most complete look of everybody that I saw in the promotion. It's just cool. I just see him. I'm like, man, you just want to follow him. You just want to be able to say I'm an Ace Gervais guy. Yeah, I've been there. He looks cool. His moves are cool. You feel cool following him. I'm in, man.
Yep. Now, the next guy, number 9 on the list, is somebody you probably won't feel as cool following because he's a lawyer. And I know John's going to have all sorts of things to say about Sampson Alexander, ESQ.
Yeah,
or is it about Bob Richards, ESQ?
Who?
No, I don't know.
What? Yeah. No, Sampson, yeah. Dude, so my notes, what's up with lawyers? Yuck. Come on, man. No, but he is. It's a good looking gimmick, and I don't know what it is about the white collar gimmicks, man, the buttoned up gimmicks that I freaking love, man. They always pop me. I mean, we can go old to new on it. Old IRS, $1 Million Man.
Yes.
Or you want to go newer school, your business partner down there in the dirty Southern district down there, old Journey Burke. I don't know what it is about these, the white collar, they shouldn't want to get their hands dirty, but man, you guys are, hell, you throw Vince McMahon when he was doing the boss gimmick, to JBL, to
JBL's a good one.
Old EC3, Del Rio when he was doing the, I'm better than you guy, coming to the ring in the sports cars and the scarves and the glasses. I mean, all the way. You want to go right now? Go to AEW, man. MJF.
MJF. Yeah.
It's that's Sampson Alexander. He's got good ring work. He's got an awesome. A couple of clips. He's got a couple of really cool, good finishers that he performs awesome. He's got an Impaler DDT that's amazing. He's got a top rope blockbuster that, dude, it's one of the best I've seen. He's got a great. I've seen it in a couple different clips where he's got a great gut wrench throw.
Okay.
Who does that anymore?
Oh my
Nobody
God.
does that. And then it's a guy that's supposed to be in a courtroom during the day is doing a gut wrench throw. It just feels personal. It just feels like a big FU. And best of all, he claims to have the official endorsement of one Steve Corino.
Yeah, well, there you go. I didn't know about that. That's awesome. Oh,
dude, it's official.
It's good. Official. That's good. Officially branded and licensed partners.
Oh my God. Yeah, this guy is awesome. I love the way he sells. He's got a nasty mean streak that I like.
Yep. But then he flashes that grin, then he stops being nasty, and he flashes his grin like he's the lawyer with his Rolex getting out of his BMW or something.
Dude, that's the white collar pop thing for me. Because I pop and then I go, you dick.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so good, man. It's so good, and he is great at it. So. Nickel City, you got something with this guy. So
yeah, I like him.
He might be my favorite guy on this list. You can hear it in my voice, I'm sure.
No doubt. That's because he's a lawyer. You love lawyers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've been trying to get away from him for years.
Well, the last person on the list this month, number 10 ranked, me. I got to watch a showcase match. He's on every card, doesn't win a lot of big matches, but does beat the guys he's supposed to beat right at the lower end of the card. I like the character, and I think there's more to see with this character. Did you get a good look at me?
I did, yeah, and I agree with you on all those fronts.
He's only been in 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a young kid, and he looks like a young kid. And what I mean by that is he still looks like he's growing into the man body, right? Once he gets a little bit of size, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Goldie back when we saw him in, what was it, OVW? Mm-hmm. Back in the day when he was kind of first starting out. And you can, obviously you look at him now, he looks like a freaking Greek god. This guy is he kind of grows into that and gets some more experience. This guy is going to be something, man. Now how far he goes, I don't know. But there's definitely something there. There's a spark. And if it catches, man, who knows?
Agreed. Like, that's the thing about, I don't have a lot to say now, but I want to see more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think top to bottom, Nickel City's got a good promotion here. I don't, like I said, this is the first time we've done this segment, so I'm not really sure how to wrap it up. But I mean, I like seeing some of these wrestlers. I like being able to discuss them with you and kind of get a feel for them. We had a lot of similar thoughts on them. Like I said, I'll be following Nickel City every month, and keep up the good work, guys. We're looking, like I said, there's a few people on here that we're going to be watching their careers now.
Yeah, it sounds like we better watch out because it sounds like they're watching us. So,
yeah, agreed. Second, and I am. So let's move on before we get Sampson in here to our IWX Watch This segment. And this week, our recommendation is EPW Wrestling, episode number 202. This was a 45-minute episode, much shorter than the ones we've been watching recently, John, which I know felt like a break at first, but it wasn't, because this episode was just packed full of stuff.
Oh, dude, it was jam-packed.
I
was looking through, couldn't believe how much stuff was on there in 45 minutes.
Agreed. And again, I'm going to start off with, I think the commentary team was excellent. I think the audio was excellent. I think the camera, the audio, video quality was great. It just dropped me right into this thing immediately. And then they bring out, to start the episode, Madi the American Baddie. And I don't care how great this steel cage match is at the end. And it's great. Madi the American Baddie is my new favorite from this episode. I like the whole presentation. I like the attitude. I love it. And then she gets in the ring against Shauna and takes care of business.
She does, man. But I'll tell you what, one, dude, the accent got me. She's awesome. You don't expect somebody to sound like that, to look like that.
Right.
And, dude, she just comes across as like the Southern Belle, right? That's what she sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just got in there and she literally kicked ass.
Yeah.
She's got a great, like you said, I mean, we keep saying it, but she does. She's got a great look. That character is, I don't know if she's finished fleshing it out, but it's pretty dang close.
The gear is great.
I like what she's doing, but I'll tell you what, she was not expecting that, and neither was I from Shauna. So, hey, man.
And the way that match started.
A hell of a match.
It did. And the way that match started, I thought it was like, okay, she's going to get in the ring and kind of mop the floor with her. But Shauna's kind of, it's a slow burn or something with her. Like, once you realize how kind of off kilter she is, you're like, oh, all right, I want to see more of her. She's laughing at the end after getting beat. I mean, like, why was she laughing? She just
it was a little unnerving, right?
Right?
So I'm trying to, now my gears are turning right. I'm trying to figure, okay, well, I'm trying to explain to myself why she's laughing, and I think I like the way I describe it to myself. She's laughing because she knows she was that close to getting the baddie, and one of the things that, you talk about the little things, right? These little setups. When Madi came out and she was like, listen, I got an open challenge. It's not going to be for the title because I don't do that for free.
Right.
It's like just that little wording. It's like, oh, that is such a dick move, but
it's perfect.
So perfect.
It is.
And I'll tell you what, Shauna showed her, man. You better watch yourself. I mean, Maddie's gonna have to come with her A game because that rematch is coming.
Yeah, it is, and it's gonna be a good one too.
Yep.
So then we go to a commercial. I'm just gonna make a comment about the commercials now and not do it every time because there's a few of them. I think they put them in there really well. I don't love that they interrupt matches, but formatting for TV and things like that happens. Right. But I think I think it's great that they've got sponsors like Monster. It's great that they, that the graphics are really good, and they had that thing at the bottom half the episode that just sat there looking. It was good looking, but it didn't interrupt or hurt my viewing. It didn't block me. Yeah.
Right.
So, but we move right on.
The other thing you quick. One of the things with that I liked is that not only is it great that they've got sponsors, like you said, Monster. They had, what was it? It was some white collar job. The guy kept on there. I don't know.
Stupid white collar gimmicks.
But it's great that they've got the sponsors. But the other thing that they did that was really good is they did a lot of self-promotion in that. A lot of the things that they had coming on. They had a charity thing with the high school going. They had this going. The next event coming. Dude, so many times, you watch these and then you don't know anything till the end. They're, well, if you want to know what else we're doing here, follow this or follow us on Linktree. Okay, but some of us are old. Tell me what you're doing. Oh, you're doing this? Okay. The self-promotion it laid in perfect. It fit in perfect with the commercials. That's all I got to say. It just great job. Great job.
Agreed. We move on to an Apex Championship match, which kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting Wonder Boy. Cody Bryan challenges Wonder Boy for the Apex Championship. I really liked Wonder Boy. I think the crowd really likes Wonder Boy.
Yeah, he is. We always talk about the hometown crowds having their guy. He's one of their guys.
Yep.
They love that guy. They popped hard. They blew up for all his spots. And he's got a great look, man. I mean, the kid's in great shape. The mask looks good. The tights look good. The moveset's, really kind of a good mix between luchador and high flyer.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I'm down.
Yeah, and like I said, we didn't get to see a lot from Cody Bryan in this case, in this match, as far as we didn't get a real good feel of who Cody Bryan is from this match. I don't think he's tall. No. He's got a little bit of size. He could, if he puts on a little bit more, he might be real trouble. But this was really Wonder Boy's match. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, man. And I'm not gonna say it popped me, but I definitely wasn't expecting the finish. Just kind of a quick whip, and man, that Claymore kick was
it was
brutal. It was. I see why he stayed down, but it came out of nowhere, man. There wasn't any setup to it, and obviously you say Claymore kick, we know who we're thinking. There's always the big setup for that, right?
Yeah,
dude, this was just you coming off the rope and pow,
sudden.
It was over. It was impressive, man. I liked it.
Yeah. I do want to see more from Cody Bryan. But I got my fill of Wonder Boy for this show, and I'm definitely interested in seeing more. I did make a note though. There was at one point where he did the Superman punch, and then he asked them if they wanted another one, and I'm like, dude, you never asked them if you want another one. That's like pulling out a table. If you pull out a table, you're going through it. And if you ask the crowd if they want a second super punch, you are going to miss every single time. Oh, so we go to another commercial. We come back. We get this look at last week, which took me a second to get myself settled into. But once I realized who the players were, we see Daniel Nova in trouble, Dorian Vain with the run-in. Hangtime Harris comes out and evens the score. The Order is involved. And then we go into Dorian Vain coming out for his match here against Isaiah Cohn. They try to stop Dorian Vain on his way into the ring to ask him about last week and whether he wanted to tell everybody why they did what they did. And all he said was, we don't need to justify our actions because we're correct. I said, damn. All right, then.
That's a statement right there.
Yeah.
Listen, we're doing the right thing, whether you like it or not. We know it's right.
Yep.
It's hard to argue with somebody that's got that mentality, man.
Agreed. And it's also hard to argue with somebody of Dorian Vain's size. He's got, man, he's just,
a big boy.
Yeah, and he's just a big, strong boy. You know what I mean? Like big, tall, really just, he's like he's a heater. He's Kevin Nash to Shawn Michaels or whatever, you know what I mean? And that ended up with Nash being a world champion in two different companies. So that, I think Dorian Vain fits into that really well. I did make a note at the beginning of this match that Isaiah Cohn is in big trouble here. He held his own, hit some pretty cool pretty cool chops though.
He did, and it wasn't until toward the end of that match and some other shenanigans that ended up going on. Cohn is a bigger guy than I thought he was. The problem was we're just seeing him in there compared with Vain, and Vain is a large man. Cohn is a normal man. But like you said, he held his own, and he did. But man, he took a thumping in that one, man.
He did. He had a rally, and he stunned Vain for a minute. It looked like, but then of course Knox and Daniel Nova and those guys get involved, and any hopes Isaiah Cohn had were dashed. If they weren't already dashed when Vain had him choking on the rope and looked like he was about to start foaming from the mouth at one point.
Dude, that was one of the nastiest looking chokes I've seen in a while. I mean, it looked like, somebody should have been whispering in his ear, like, "Hey, man, you can let off
be
a
easy.
little
This
bit."
is
I mean,
right.
It looks good. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be real, man. Yeah, it was legit looking for sure.
Yeah, it was.
And then like you said, the end of the match, you get the run in. Man, I'll say I want to look more into this guy, Hang Time Harris. Man, he looks. I mean, he looks like a player.
Mm-hmm.
He's got great size to him, a great look. He's athletic as all get out, man. Some of the bouncing around he was doing, in kind of that vignette beforehand, where he ended up getting his butt handed to him by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He was just doing some phenomenal stuff. And, for a smaller promotion, a lot of times you don't see guys of this size and in this kind of shape. So it was kind of impressive that, they had, not just one guy in Vain, but a couple of guys that just were just jacked and throwing themselves around the ring like that. It was great.
Yeah, I agreed. I made a note here. What was the other thing that I made? I always pop for the Samoa Joe spot, and Dorian Vain did that pretty perfectly when Cone goes to the second rope for the drop kick, and then Vain just sort of just nonchalantly just walked off to the side. I pop for that spot. I don't care who does it. Joe is obviously the best, but Dorian Vain popped me here too on that. All right, let's talk about it. The main event. It's such a big main event that they got a guy in the crowd asking people what they think, who they think is going to win. And it looks like it's overwhelmingly in favor of the Underground Syndicate and not Parental Advisory from the crowd, except that stupid baby, which didn't have an opinion. Come on, baby, have an opinion. But
if you're gonna get on TV, man, you gotta be camera ready, man. You can't clam up like you don't know you don't know how to talk.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
TV. Terrible.
Come on, baby. Get yourself get your shit together, baby.
God.
But this match was
things we hate. There's our things we hate for this week.
We hate babies. But dude, this match did not disappoint me at all. I loved this match. It was just a brawl from the word go.
Yeah.
I had an absolute blast. These guys, the Parental Advisory, Hunter Dabbs and Dakota Gage, they're jumping and moving all around the ring constantly, like little spider monkeys or something, man. It was like just this constant movement. It was like, I'll tell you what it was like. It was like, to me, it was like watching a TNA tag team steel cage match from the early 2000s, like 05.
Dude, it was, their teamwork is reminiscent of the old school stuff, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, even up through, you want to do newer stuff, wrestle, just that chain wrestling, but it's chained together with the tag team sense. And these guys, they are a team. They are not two guys together that are wrestling and they're good at it. They are a tag team. They look like they practice. They look like they live, eat, sleep, shit, everything together. So, it was impressive to watch. Like you said, it is constant movement. I was tired just from watching them. I'm an old guy to go take a nap. My heart rate was up. It was, but yeah, you described it perfectly. Spider monkeys. I like it.
Seriously, man. There's one point, the spot that I know, I know you know what spot I'm talking about, where they hit the double Canadian destroyers and then the other dudes got up and hit immediate double basement elbows and they're all down. It was like, it was so good. And they stayed down and they let the fans react to it, process it. Like, that's veteran stuff.
The choreography of the match between these four guys was on point. It was something I would expect out of a much, much bigger show and promotion. And that's a testament to these guys and their skill level. Man, it was, one, it was a treat for me just to watch it, on the TV at my house. I can't imagine the treat that the fans got. I mean, you and I would have been popping ridiculous at that. So, hey, more power to you guys. Thank you for the great match, and God, it was good.
It was, man.
Mean, it all kinds of feels, and then you throw Just Incredible in.
Right, we haven't even gotten to Just Incredible being the special guest referee.
You got into there. It was great. It was so much good stuff going on. This is a note, and this is just production note, right? The camera in the cage. The guy was never out of position, but he was never in the way.
Right.
It's not something
that's
we see a
hard
lot
to do,
of,
right?
Dude, it was great. It added to what I was getting out of that match, because I was seeing things that you don't normally see in those tag team matches like that in the cage, right? Because you get somebody up over the top kind of looking down, or you'll get a sky cam view, or you get, somebody through the cage, but to be in the cage filming it as it's going on, the skill level of that cameraman off the charts. To get the shots he got and be inconspicuous, dude, amazing. That's my production nerd out for the day.
Right. No, that's great, man. That's great, and you're right. We were recently at a show where we saw a cameraman we thought getting a little too close to the action, and we feared for his safety. So it's kind of the same thing here, But like, if you do it right, you guys are the professionals. But it really did help the match.
Dude, it was one of the best matches I've seen in the last 6 to 8 months. It was phenomenal. It really was. In person or otherwise, it was just that good.
And to the point where at the end, when Brandon Young hits the double drop kick, tries to pin one guy, then he tries to pin the other guy. That doesn't work. Then he starts fighting with Just Incredible. The match was so good. I'm like, dude, no, don't fight with Just Incredible. This is how you lose a match. And sure enough, 2 seconds later, Incredible grabs a kendo stick, wallops Brandon Young, and we got new champions.
Yep. Dude, it popped me. I wasn't expecting the new champs.
Me either.
Dude, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Again, all it takes is the one mistake, and let's be honest, Just Incredible is known for one thing, being unpredictable. And you go put your hands on him. Wow. You made your mistake, man. I hope you learned. But I'll tell you what, I'm down for them running this back in whatever kind of match they want it. I'm down for it.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Thing I wanted to note, I'm telling you, right? The only other thing I wanted to note on this, and I think I'm looking through the notes here, and you've got the same note I had. There was a move where, one of the guys was hanging upside down.
Yes.
From the cage, his legs at the top. I have never seen
Me either.
somebody get a drop kick hanging upside down. One, I couldn't tell. I can't tell you if I've seen anybody hanging upside down from the cage that wasn't like hang upside down and fall out. To get a drop kick dude, that's my chef's kiss for the match. Mwah! It was phenomenal, a phenomenal move. Was not expecting it, never seen it. Like I said, dude, this match was banger from bell to bell.
No doubt.
Absolutely loved it.
I'm going to make one last little move note that I had in here is, and I don't remember who it was. I believe it was Chris Styles from Underground Syndicate. I don't remember who it was from Parental Advisory, but at some point early in the match, 2 guys from opposite teams are standing on the ropes, dealing with people below them on the mat who are from the opposite team. So the 2 guys who are standing on the ropes, one, I think it was this guy Styles. I think he turns to the other guy from Parental Advisory, and then Hurricane Rana's him. He's like, hey, wait, I'm beating this guy up. Wait, you're next to me. Boom, Hurricane Rana. And I love that improvisation and the way that they sold it so that I knew that's what they were thinking. Mm-hmm. That's my chef's kiss. Well, I love that.
Because they take that beat, man. They take that beat, let you process it, let the audience process it, and then hit it, right? It's we always hear whenever we watch any of these shows, the LFG or the old Tough Enough or any of these shows now where they've got the coaches, what do they always say? You got to slow down, right? Mm-hmm. You got to slow down. That's why. It's not a slowdown in the terms of move like you're in quicksand. It's let it build, man. Let the audience let them process it, because if you're moving too fast and they can't process it, they don't appreciate it when you do it. If you give it that beat, man, we'll pop every time, because even the dumbest of us, these two guys, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, and it's funny you mentioned the slow down. Whenever anybody says slow down in the ring, my mind immediately goes to Brock Lesnar punching Braun Strowman for real in the face during a match and yelling slow the fuck down. Like,
slow down.
And
yes.
Strowman was young, he was excited, and Lesnar, that was a very severe way to do it, but he reminded him, dude, chill the fuck out, because these people need time to process these things. But that's what I'm thinking in my head.
Exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think it's time for us to bring on Sampson. Let me check and make sure. Let's see where he is. All right, John. Here he is, back on the show. UPW heavyweight champion, and John, number 7 overall ranked.
Number 7.
Indy Wrestling Experience rankings. Sampson, what's up, man? Welcome back.
Welcome back, man.
What's up, guys? I appreciate the love and the rankings. That's quite the honor. It's cool when you see your name on that stuff and pictures. It's humbling, and I appreciate it. So thank you, guys.
No, very, very
well earned, brother.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You've been champion for a long time, and you're beating big names in the industry. You're not just beating, Joe Schmo from 3 towns over. You know what I mean? You're beating these big name guys. And you've got another one coming up on Saturday, Silas Young, the rematch.
Yep, Sunday.
Sorry, I'm so used to Saturdays. That's right.
No, you're good. It's I know it's a weird day, right? We're wrestling on Sundays. It's weird, but it's the UP State Fair. It's one of the biggest events in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They'll see over 100,000 people at the fair this week. It's the main event of that show. It's a memorial match for my brother who passed away in June. And it's the rematch that I've been waiting for like 3 years. So I'm looking forward to this one. Very, very much so.
Yeah. And
I think the next time we talk, I can talk about how it's probably one of my favorite matches.
Wow. Okay. Now, so go ahead. Oh,
no, you're good.
I was going to say that, so this is a rematch. Talk about the last match. When was it? Set it up for
us. Marquette Mania 1. It was the main event. It was the first time that I was wrestling in my hometown. It was also, I think it was like my 3rd singles match.
Whoa.
And I think it was like my 5th time working in a match, and probably my 7th time doing anything in a professional wrestling ring. So I was pretty green at outside of training, like when I started working shows, I was like, I did a couple run-ins, and I cost the guy a title, and I got some heat that way, which I worked into like a War Games match, 4-on-4. And then I did like a Battle Royal in Detroit, and then I had a singles match with Peter Be Beautiful, a singles match with one of the Doink the Clowns. And then it was Silas. So I'm pretty sure there might be one more in there. I could be forgetting, but I don't think it was. So anyways, as you guys know, like, Silas has been around. He's a pro. He's real. He's like, kind of like a throwback to like the wrestling from the heyday. He's a good worker. He's done it for a long time. And very professional. And I don't know, like, not many people that watch that match, I think, could tell it was, that early on in my wrestling career. But that's everything to do with Silas there. He made it all work, because he was the veteran. But now that is not the case. So I've got some years under my belt. I've got some miles, some matches, made a little bit of money here and there, and I have a title. So it's like a different scenario, and it's not going to be, he's not going to have to carry the weight.
Right.
So I'm looking very forward.
Yeah. That was gonna be the first thing out of my mouth. Was if you're that early in your career, Silas Young's got to be one of the best partners you can have to get you through a match early in your career. I mean, the guy's been everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's deep,
and he
deep
was
into the pool
he
right
was
off
the
bat.
UPW heavyweight. He was the UPW heavyweight champion at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it was a match for the title. It was kind of a funky finish, like I got in a pin, but his foot was on the rope. They rematch. I caught him in a full Nelson, and we did the Bret Hart spot. He ran up the ropes and flipped backwards, and I still had him in the full Nelson, and both of us could have been pinned, but the ref Tango Jones, I think, was paid a little money or something to make sure it was me, and
It happens.
sent the crowd home pretty disappointed. So, but we've made up for that since, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Every time I've seen him since, which I've been on a few shows with him, UPW and otherwise, and it's always like, man, I want to run that back. We got to do it someday. So This is the perfect opportunity. It was also like Marquette Mania 1 was the first show that my brother was able to make it to.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Being through a bunch.
Wow. Yeah, that's I'm sure that match means quite a bit to you. You're gonna have a heavy heart going in there, but it'll be it's gonna be one hell of a match. That's for damn sure. So we think the world of Silas, and we think you're great, and so I think that match is gonna be one of those ones. John and I are gonna have to watch the episode when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll get you guys some footage as soon as I have it.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be an absolute banger. Cool.
Yeah. So what else has been going on? I know that you sent us a match that you did in Canada. Let's talk about that real quick. The match with Hernandez against the Digglers. Yeah. And that match, we really we really liked watching that match, but we felt very sorry for your opponents because they looked severely outmatched.
Those guys are great to work with. That's the second time I've worked with them in a tag setting, and they can take some bumps. They're really good at they're really good heels, and they do they do a good job. And it's they're some of those bumps, like some of the pounces they took from Hernandez were crazy. Like I was sitting there ringside, just like, holy shit! Like, are they gonna be okay?
Dude, I worry about any time I see anybody take that border toss, but
yeah,
it's not something that I want to do in real life. That's for sure.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun working with those guys, and the crowd loved it, and Canada loves me, so we always have a good time up there.
Yeah. Canada does love you, man, but we all know
the crowd was hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, Canada loves you, but they don't love you as much as America loves Danny Duggan. You know what I mean? It's you'll get there one day.
Right.
You have the kind of love in Canada that Danny has here, you know?
Yeah. Right.
But I liked in that match.
These probably.
I was gonna say I liked in that match that the announcers were like, "Yeah, I think these boys are going home," and I was like, "Yeah, they really should go. they should just pack it in." And I think the commentators did a great job with that too, because I was thinking it when they were saying it, you know.
Yeah.
How was it to work with Hernandez though?
Oh, great! It was cool. He's had a lot of great advice backstage. I've met him before. He was at Marquette Mania 2, and he'd been on another UPW show. So he's super cool. It was good to see him. Got to hang out backstage, and like I said, when we were putting that match together, it's like you always learn from those guys that have done it so much and been to the level that they've been at. There might even have been some spots that he gave me in there that made me look really cool. So it was a good experience.
Very cool.
Like the Samoan drop with the fallaway slam all at once,
Yes.
So you should try that. I'm like, yes, I should.
Yeah.
And then gave me permission to use his pounce going forward. Said you need to use my pounce. I'll show you how to do it. So that's kind of cool too. So see if I can start pulling that off.
Oh man, I want to see it. I definitely want to see that. Oh man. So where else have you been since the last time we saw you? I think the last time we saw you was before Marquette Mania. last time we talked to you.
Yeah, it's just with I worked up in Canada, and that's really been it with the events of the summer. So I've really just been focusing in on this show, and then hopefully this fall gets some more stuff going. We'll see. It was rough having that kind of right there in the middle of June. It's kind of set the summer on a weird pitch, you know. So so yeah, I've just been kind of doing what I need to do, get ready, because I want to, like I said, put on the best show that I have to date.
Mm-hmm. At this show on Sunday, we've heard from Tully Bertorelli. We've seen John and I have recently. I mean, and we've seen a promo that they just put up. You don't have the collective directly in front of you on Sunday. What is your mindset? What is Sampson's mindset going into Sunday about the collective still running around this Sunday? And do you have your eye on anything going on with them?
I mean, I always have to keep my head on a swivel. You know, they always seem to show up and show their face, but maybe they'll show a shred of dignity and just let me kind of have this match this week, and we can get back to our shenanigans at a future date. But we'll see. You know, you never know. We'll see if they can fight their urge to interfere, cause chaos like they like to. But I will say that Silas and I have tagged against the collective, so I don't know if they want us going back to back against them either. You know, so we do. You know, there's no bad blood in this match coming up with Silas. Like I said, we've been opponents, we've been tag partners, so this is there's mutual respect there. But so we'll see. I think they'd have to be pretty foolish to try to get involved in this one.
Yeah,
I would probably end things very quick and mercilessly.
Well, I don't know, man. Every time we talk to Tully, he seems really confident. He is feeling himself right now, for sure, and the collective seems to be feeling themselves too.
Well, we'll see. He's got a match against Ghetto Gear Solid, him and Judge Jesse. Maybe they can line themselves up a title shot at some point, and the collective can finally get some gold that they've been after, but it's not going to be my belt.
That's it. There you go. You've talked about Ghetto Gear Solid a little bit before, but tell us the folks about them who don't know about Ghetto Gear Solid.
Kaz and Rashawn, Rough Rider Rashawn, they're out of Milwaukee, Milwaukee. They've been doing it for a long time. They're guys that I watched even like before I was a pro wrestler. So they're great. I think they're awesome in the ring. I think they're a wealth of knowledge. They're cool guys to hang out with, and I'm glad that they're a part of UPW.
Yeah.
But they're all over the place too. You see them all over Wisconsin, Illinois, Midwest, Minnesota. I believe they get up there.
Very cool. Yeah, I think the collective's going to have their hands full with those guys.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, Rashad, he'll do a freaking moonsault. So, I mean, I've seen him. That was the War Games match I did. The first one, he did a moonsault off the top of the cage.
Wow.
A bunch of in there. So he's a big dude, but he's super athletic. And when he gets going, it's fun to watch.
You think you got any moonsaults off the top of the cage in you, Sampson, or you gonna leave that?
No, I save that for the guys that are under, shorter than me and smaller. I can't. I don't know. I've never done a flip anywhere, so I can do the front. I can do the front flips, the standing ones, but landing on my feet, probably not.
Yeah,
I can land on my back, but moonsault, no. I'd have to really practice that. So, but I do have a ring set up here in town locally. That's what that's what I've been spending a lot of my time doing, working in there and keeping my cardio up and doing different things. So like, hopefully in this match I could show some new stuff,
Okay. Very cool. Get me even more excited for this match.
Yeah, no kidding.
The other one I wanted to mention this weekend is because we're, Sampson, that we're big fans. But the other match that I got circled for this Sunday is Onyx Andretti defending against my boy, Nerd Rage, Melvin Hayes. I think that match is going to be just your match with Silas, and that match and the collective tag match are going to just really blow everybody out of the water, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that match for sure because they're both heavy hitters, and you know, Melvin Hayes, like, call him a nerd all you want, but that dude can dish it out and he can take it. I've seen some of the hardest hitting matches I've watched have been his. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what those guys do and see if Onyx can keep up with those shots. You know,
Yeah,
he comes with it. So
he does.
I mean, if you guys have kept up on Uprising, you've seen him work a lot of good guys. Kind of like myself, he's worked a lot of the names that get brought in to UPW, and he has good matches with all of them, and they're all meat slapping, meat smacking hard, loud.
Yep.
You know, aggressive bumps. They're fun matches to watch, and he's a big dude. Like, I don't think people realize he's all of 6'4" and 280 pounds. You know, like Melvin's a big guy.
Yes, he is.
So,
yeah.
He's you'll see the difference in the match coming up. He'll be, I think, quite a bit taller than his opponent.
Yeah. That's true, man. Yeah, and that's the thing that impressed us about Melvin when we first saw him was, you know, you see this presentation and you don't expect what you get. You know what I mean? It's almost I don't know, I'm thinking maybe like Mick Foley or something like that, where you see this presentation of this guy, and he's sort of off kilter a little bit, and he's whatever, and then he gets in the ring and he just starts beating the crap out of people. Like, that's why they call it the nerd rage, I guess, but I love it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, he dishes out as much as he takes. It's fun to watch. So
he's impressive.
I'm excited. That'll be a good one. Hopefully we can get some footage of this one sooner than later. So there's gonna be a lot of good matches. The Zandra Lee Danny Moe rematch. They've had one singles match in the past that was very arguably the match of the night on that card, and then at Marquette Mania, you know, Danny, I believe, pinned Crystal to win the title. So, like, Zandra didn't get pinned. You know, she's kind of angsty about, you know, not really losing her title, but losing her title. So she wants a shot back at that, and I think that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think Danny threw Zandra out after, like, Zandra hit something on Crystal, and then Danny came behind and threw Zandra out and pinned her herself.
Right.
So that, you're right, that match is going to be, that's a setup for a banger. And you know, like I said, we saw Zandra in that fatal 4-way. I think the world of her, and Danny Moe is Danny Moe. She's professional, man. She's ranked number 4
top
woman.
of the line. Nice. Awesome. Yeah. You have both the UPW champions on there.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. You guys are really doing it, man.
You guys don't disappoint, man.
Well, you know, we're trying to keep it going, and like I said, we try to highlight women's wrestling by providing good matches, good highly competitive matches, and you know, maybe it might only be one a show, but we try to make it the best it can be, and then with everything else, you know. So we're going to keep that going. This is I think the State Fair, they haven't had wrestling there since like 87.
Oh,
so,
wow. Really?
The last time wrestling was there, it was like an AWA show.
Oh, wow.
Those guys like Kurt Hennig and Slaughter and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
wow. That goes back. I mean, every time we talk to you guys,
that tradition, man. Nice.
Yeah, it's always weird to me when you talk to the guys that are out there in the Midwest who grew up as AWA. Like that's AWA country out there. You know what I mean? That's not. That's nothing like that. Was not. We didn't grow up with any of that, and so it's when I hear these guys talk about, like, Rich, our buddy at RPW, is always talking about, you know, he went to Milwaukee and saw the Bruiser, Dick the Bruiser, or he saw, you know, whatever, and I'm like, man, I would have loved to have seen some of those guys back in the day. Not our territory, though.
Well, so segue with AWA here, like, one of Hogan's, I think, his second to last appearance with AWA was in Marquette, Michigan. It was like the second to last show of their leg, where they would come up through Marquette, then they would come back down, do a show in Milwaukee, everyone would get paid, and they'd get on their flights and go home.
Right.
And that was like when he went back to Florida and then sent the telegram that he wouldn't be back. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, it is AWA territory, and I believe that's what was on the TV up here back in the day. Because my uncles and guys, they always talk about the Claw and Dick the Bruiser and all those Larry the Axe Henning, guys like that, even Vern.
Yeah, so, I would have loved.
You can actually pretty cool footage of matches at Lakeview Arena that were AWA shows, where like Vern and Mad Dog Vachon and I haven't found the footage yet, but I know that the main event that Hogan, the last time Hogan was up, was him and Dr. D, David Schultz.
Love it.
So that's like some pretty sweet wrestling happening,
Yeah, seriously, man.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like this forgotten area because it's the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's like nobody thinks of it anymore. But at one time they did, and I think UPW's done a really good job of kind of bringing that buzz back and getting some interest in professional wrestling on the local level.
Yeah, you actually just mentioned something that I can transition into now, because when we talked a couple of weeks ago about you coming back on, one of the first things you said to me was, I want to speak about Hulk Hogan. And John and I, we didn't really do a tribute show or anything like that. This is an indie wrestling podcast, and Hulk Hogan means a lot to a lot of people, but we felt there were a bunch of other people doing those shows. We would let them cover it. But Hulk Hogan meant a lot to a lot of people in the industry. It sounded like you were one of them. What was Hulk Hogan mean in your life?
Well, a lot, really. Like that was what captivated me. So I probably would have never wrestled as an amateur or lifted a weight, or a lot of stuff I would have never done if not for Hulk Hogan. So, and then just the way that he changed like the whole industry, brought it to what it is today, like the global phenomenon. Like Vince had to have a horse to like attach his buggy to if he was going to go national on national television. And if he was going to get that kind of exposure, how was he going to get captivated? And it was Hulk Hogan. So if not for him, I think like wrestling probably would have never really left the bingo halls or like the the high school gyms and things like that, where like the territories kind of ran. Once in a while they'd get these bigger venues, but it was a different world back then. And for better or worse, it changed the whole game. And that was Hulk Hogan, and he was the biggest draw of all time. Like so, and like, yeah, I'm not going to get into like any of the other stuff. It's just him as a pro wrestler and his contributions to the business, and yeah, anybody that's like, I mean, shit, kids are like, they know, they grew up on Hulk Hogan videos and stuff like that. So like, I think he's just like spanned generations of people. Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up on those videos. I know that for sure. And that was my era when I was coming in. You're a little younger than I am, Sampson, I think. But you probably came in on the, during the Hulkamania era too, right? Like that was when you were
a kid. I was born in 81. So like I remember Thunderlips, and I remember I like some of my earlier memories of him wrestling were like the Iron Sheik stuff in WrestleMania 1 with Piper, and then like really understanding and knowing what was going on, like WrestleMania 2 with King Kong Bundy, and then like obviously 3 with Andre the Giant. And then from then on, just like it grew and grew and grew, and it was like always the guy for me. I have other favorites, like people, like I'm a big Scott Hall fan, like love that dude. Undertaker, I think, is awesome. Mick Foley, like lots of guys that I admire in the business, but like Hulk Hogan, hands down. Like if there was only one face to put on Mount Rushmore, it'd be his.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. I have a hard time. Yeah, I'd have a hard time arguing with that. Yeah, you're 100% right. And I grew up, like I said, coming up in that era, in the Hogan era, I still probably have the pirated version of WrestleMania 3 on VHS somewhere in my house that we got from some guy who had a black box who got the, you know what I mean? Like that's how far back that shit goes, man. But I have those same memories. I remember Orndorff turning on Hogan. I remember that going all through the winter time and then into Andre, then the DiBiase stuff, then Ultimate Warrior, and then he's gone. He comes back. A lot of people don't like WrestleMania 9. I like WrestleMania 9. I'm one of the few people that does. I think the spot with him taking it from Yokozuna was contrived, but it was a very Hulk Hogan moment. So, but yeah, and then the heel turn in the 90s. I mean, the guy's so prolific. And to be able to be a heel at the top of the business for so long, and then to be after being the babyface in the business for so long. And the other thing is, people will say Hogan can't wrestle, but if you go find the tapes of him in Japan, he can wrestle too. He's a technical wrestler too. Like, he's all those things.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I said I've been working on some new moves, so I've been watching fan stuff too. So it's like if he can do this stuff, I can definitely do some of this stuff. So it's like, it's it's funny you said that. There's clips of him and Abdullah the Butcher, and I have not been able to find the whole match. I would love to, but just like the 3-minute little montage is like freaking awesome. It's like just the way the Abdullah was using his blade, and creatively, like not like deathmatch stuff you see today. He was hiding it. He had to hide it from the referee, and just how Hogan was selling, and then the actual wrestling they were doing, and the fighting outside the ring. I'm like, you didn't see that side of him in the States, but that wasn't what was required of him either,
Right.
Exactly.
He just had to tear off his shirt and point, and people went nuts. But in Japan, you got to wrestle, you got to work, and I think that stuff proves right there that he could do all of it.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. When I saw the footage of him from Japan, but now I'm picturing Sampson beating Silas with like an Oklahoma roll or something coming up here on.
Hey,
you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I see something.
Yeah, no, man, but absolutely. But like I said, I knew that you wanted to speak on him because he meant a lot to you, and like he did to a lot. Like I said, he influenced, regardless of what you want to say. And John and I make a very clear point: we do not talk about politics. We don't talk about controversial stuff like outside the whatever. I'm not interested in it. We're wrestling fans. We like wrestling. And as a wrestling fan, Hogan guided me through 2 different eras as 2 completely different characters. And that's something that very few people have done.
Yep. And was top of the game at both. So
seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you can say what you want about Hogan and WCW not working that much, but every time he showed up with that spray painted belt, we were all captivated. Every one of us.
Yep. You wanted to see what he was going to do. So yeah, it was cool. It was, it was cool growing up and having that to watch. And, it was just sad when he went, and he was kind of like, I was following the stuff, the reports, hoping that they weren't true. And that talk show host kept claiming that they were, and then sure enough, it was like, boom, he's gone. So it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it hit like a ton of bricks, man, for sure. Was not prepared.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be flippant about it, but I for one of the first things out of my mouth was, how is it that Ric Flair is still alive and Hulk Hogan's not? And I don't mean that to be like, I mean, that guy's lived 3 lives in his life.
I don't know how Flair goes, says he's pain free. He's like, I don't suffer from any pain. He's got no I don't think he's got any fake joint, no fake hips. He's like, yeah, he's not even beat up. I'm like, how? The guy took bumps every single night for 30 years straight. This doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well, we've got, I wanted to talk to you about the 23rd. So you guys are running 2 shows. You're running this Sunday, and then you're running again on Saturday the 23rd. Is that right?
No, that's been canceled. That whole Fan Fest thing has been canceled. The guy that was putting it on, let's just say there was never really a lot of confidence in that happening. And probably 2-3 months ago, we pulled everything. Just, we're not having anything to do with it. He was still advertising it and selling tickets for the show. So kind of some nefarious, kind of weird stuff going on there, but there's a lot of angry people that he stiffed with vendor fees and sponsorships and kind of. So yeah, no, that show's not happening. None of it is the Afterglow. None of the Fan Fest. None of it.
Ugh. It's a shame, man. I hate that stuff. You know what, John? Earlier we were gonna do our things we hate segment, We couldn't pull it off, Sampson, because we were trying to. We joke around. People always say we're always positive about everybody. We're always complimenting people. We said, okay, well, let's turn heel this week and talk some shit on wrestling. But we couldn't do it. We couldn't find enough things that we didn't like. But one of the things that was on my list, John will verify, carny shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate these deals. I hate these backroom bullshit, the slippery stuff. One of the things I would have said in that segment is at one show, two things happened to me. One, a guy sold my kid a photograph. He said, "Do you want to buy this photograph of me wrestling Jeff Hardy for $5?" We were on our way out. Said, "Fine." I gave the guy the $5. My kid loves Jeff Hardy, and we got outside, and it's just him wrestling some dude with pink sleeves. And the other thing was, at that same show, I was walking by a guy, and I said he had his merch table up, and I said to him, "Hey man, great match." And I just kind of was walking by as I said it. I said, "Hey man, great match." And he was like, kind of did the head thing, and he put his hand up like he was waving or whatever. And then as I got a little further away, I heard, "Yeah, thanks. Why don't you buy a shirt, asshole?" And like that kind of stuff right there is like, it drives me crazy that there are still people like that in the business doing stuff like that on your end with FanFest, on this guy with the carny shit. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand why. 40 years ago in the 80s, you're wrestling in smoke-filled rooms at an American Legion or something, and then you're out of, you hightail it out of town, you're not back for another 3 months. But now everybody knows where everybody is and everybody's up to. I mean, it just baffles me that people still try to pull that shit.
You can't hide from social media, and like it really is. And that's funny you say that, because that's one of the things, like with UPW and the owner Lloyd Sorrell, who's a great guy, and he is like, took full ownership of the company, and we've really tried to rid any of that with any part of UPW and try to keep the highest of standards with reputation and things like that. So that was one of the reasons we started sensing things right away. And I'm, being local, started hearing things, and I passed on information. It was like, yeah, we're washing our hands of this. We have nothing to do with it. And, yeah, it's a shame. It's really a shame, because some people were looking forward to it. I know some people were looking forward to being there as vendors and whatnot. And
I'm sure.
And everyone just kind of left hanging.
Yeah.
So it's carny rat bullcrap that really has no place in it, and in anywhere. But for some reason this business attracts them.
It really does.
I think as people look at it and they think they're like, oh, if we can just get a ring in here and put a bunch of seats, we're going to make some money. And it's like, that's not really what happens in indie wrestling. It's, you're lucky if you break even, but you retain and put on a show and, leave your mark, if you will,
Yeah, that's one of the things we hear from the people in the business all the time. The guy who gets his tax check and wants to run a promotion.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They always have the tax season shows. You get hit up from a guy. I worked one this past spring, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah. It's funny, man. It's like when I was a kid growing up, a lot of this stuff is what sort of attracted me to the business. Maybe that comes out wrong, but like the fact that there were like everything about wrestling in the 80s and early 90s was like an true Hollywood story behind the scenes. Like there were like 50 nefarious, shady things going on behind every event you saw. And I wanted to learn about all of them. But now as an adult, I said, John and I are very clear. We are not in the wrestling business. We're on the very edge of the periphery of it. But even that close to it, I see it enough and it just pisses me off now. Like I don't have any time for it at all.
Right. Well, you can sense it, if you got a good radar, good, ability to read people, you can you pick up on that stuff right away. And it's just like, get out of here with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know, a place for it. And it's disheartening, it's disappointing when you have to deal with it, or you come across it, or you have to set your boundaries. It's like, why do we even have to deal with this stuff?
Right. That's exactly it.
Well,
That's
sure. For you too, as a performer in the business, I mean, 100 good things can be negated by the one small bad thing. And then all of a sudden, everybody's perception of it is it's all bad, and that's not the way it is. The vast majority is the good. I can see why that would frustrate the hell out of me. I'm sure it does you guys specifically. Even
just having like the wrong guy on your roster, that may have a history that has nothing to do with owning or running the company, but it's like that in and of itself is like the way things spread in the business. It's like, it's just, you got to try to really, to keep their reputation high, you really got to be aware of all of it, because the news travels so fast. So it's like Lloyd's always like big on trying to take care of everybody and making sure like the experience for the workers is just as good as the experience for the fans. And I think that's the word that he's been able to get traveled, through the word of mouth. And, there's a lot of people, we get to the point where like we get reached out to about working for UPW more so than like, we have to go reaching out to people,
Right.
That's
So
awesome.
And that's another thing, as rampant as the tax check example and all that other stuff, the bad examples are, John and I we talk to people all the time every week here on the show, and we run into people who run promotions who have that same mindset like you're talking about, and that's it. And they get reached out to. They don't reach out, they get reached out to. And it's because it's because I got to imagine, you can confirm this here for me, Sampson, but I got to imagine telephone, telegraph, telewrestler is still alive and well.
100%. Yeah. The first thing anybody wants to do is pass on the bad.
Right.
So it's like, and like you said, just it gets amplified through the channels. So it's like, yeah, you just try to always stay above boards and not give anybody the reason to bitch about things, and then sooner or later that word becomes what travels pretty much only about the company, and then you're achieving like what you're setting out to do. So
yeah, agreed.
Which would not ever be considered carny.
No,
Right.
Absolutely. Well, Sampson, I was going to ask you, so we're not doing the 23rd. When is the next event? Do you know off the top of your head for UPW after this Sunday?
Yeah, we're trying to lock down a venue for September. Kind of looking in some new areas. I know we're getting close to cutoff time for that, but if we don't get that locked in, we do have a venue for our October 25th show, which is our Halloween show. That's going to be in Escanaba, Michigan, at the Chamber of Commerce, where we've held our last few October shows. And that'll be a good one. We're probably going to be bringing in some cool people, and we always have a good time for the Halloween show.
Nice.
Halloween. I think this one too will be closer. It'll be closer to. In the past, it's kind of been early to mid-October with our Halloween themed show, but this one being that Saturday, the 25th, I feel like might be able to get some people doing the costume contests and things like that. So
nice. Those are always fun, man. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
How about you, Sampson? What do you got? Anything else coming up besides? I mean, we talked about this Sunday. Do you have anything else on your on the horizon as far as matches or
CWE October 1st? I believe that's a Wednesday. And that's all that I have right now, kind of set in stone. But I'm waiting. I've got a few things I'm waiting to hear back on to finalize. We'll just see what happens. That actually some further travels, but we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got some travels coming up. We're going to be out closer to your way here next month, and we'll be out in Appleton.
Is that?
It's the
Appleton, yeah.
The 27th.
What's the date?
That Saturday, September 27th. We'll be there. I'll be there for a few extra days. Yep, that last weekend in September is when we'll be up there.
Yeah.
So looking forward to being out there. I love it out there.
Yeah, I'll chat with you later though. I want to find out what promotion that is and probably go check that out. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll give you all the information. We'd love to see you there. We were just talking about it. That'd be very cool if we got to see you.
Yeah. It's a 3-hour drive for me. That's nothing. So.
See, a man after my own heart, John. I'm the same way, man.
Right.
Driving, I love driving. I got no problem driving wherever, whenever. That's just, I've always been guy.
When you're up here, it's like the closest big city to Marquette is not even a big city, is Green Bay. Chicago's 6.5, Detroit's 7. So to get anywhere, you're looking at a day's worth of driving. So it's like 3 hours. Shoot, I do that, no problem.
Right. Exactly.
Hey man, you're talking to a guy that sits at an hour and a half of traffic that go about 37 miles every day. So I get it.
Yeah, see, that's the nice thing when you're driving up here. It's just like open roads and trees and pretty scenery. So it's not ever really that bad of a drive. Even even getting down to Green Bay, you never really run into traffic there. It's about halfway between Green Bay and Chicago where you'll start getting slowed down on the highways, and if you hit the wrong time, it'll take you 11 hours to get to Chicago.
Yep.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah. Well, I might be hitting you up soon too, Sampson. You and Tully both. I know Tully's down closer to Chicago, and you being up there. But there's been some talks about me moving out that way to be closer to my kids.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we've been talking about Chicago, but Green Bay has been on the list, and that whole general up and down that corridor, I guess, is sort of on the list of things. That puts me a couple hours away from my kids. It puts me a couple hours away from all the wrestling connections, people I know over there, and, you included. And so that I know it's in the early stages here, but yeah, it looks like I might be moving out that way soon. So
cool. We'll get you up to Market Mania.
Oh, I'll be there. You got no doubt I'll be there. If I move out there, I'll be at UPW all the time.
Nice.
Well, listen, Sampson, it's always a blast having you on the show, man. We're looking forward to it. I am very much looking forward to seeing this show, this match against Silas when it hits Uprising.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for it. I've been looking forward to it since they announced it, since we got it locked in, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, put on a show. So
be a banger.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, when I see that full like 2-minute chain wrestling that you and Silas do when you were copying Hulk, we'll
yeah, I'm like 273 pounds right now, so I'm leaner than I have been. Even like I keep getting in better shape, and my feet keep moving better and better. So I'm looking forward to being light out there, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
The hip and the legs are all doing okay.
Oh yeah, it's great. I can get up and down. It's crazy, like just what the difference 10 to 15 pounds can make. Just with any taking the bumps or the rolls or any of it. So it's like get some of that explosive power back in my legs.
What were you gonna say,
There's
John?
one thing I've always said about Sampson, about more power.
Yeah, right.
Well, I just to be able to move myself around out there.
Yeah,
it's weird. I dealt with
man. Wow.
I dealt with a messed up hip. My right hip was bad ever since I started pro wrestling. So I've never been up to like really full mobility until probably these last couple of shows where it's really starting to feel like, okay, now I can move, and I've got strength back and some flexibility and things like that. So it's like, it's crazy at 43, but I'm getting better. I'm moving better. It's like I'm taking the years off by fixing things, and
that's awesome, brother.
Just staying in the gym, so.
Yeah. I know John and I made it.
The last match that, go ahead. I was going to say the last match that we watched, with you and Tully, Bob and I, that was the first thing that jumped off the screen at us was how well you were moving in there, man. It was good to see.
Yeah, and
I was about 295 there.
Yeah, and I even made a comment. We were watching that CWE match about the way Sampson sold that double shotgun drop kick, man. Like you can't. I mean, like you just kind of fell, like shot back into that corner off of it. And I got to imagine if that hip was bad, you couldn't have pulled that off either.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of it's cool. It's just it's like opening up more doors. So.
That's awesome.
Just being able to do more and more things and not have to, like just being able to use the leg fully, I guess, and not having to baby it or do things a certain way because I can't do this with my right leg. Now it's like, no, I got two working legs, and yeah, it makes a big difference.
That's awesome, man. Well, we're happy to hear it, Sampson. We're always glad to have you back on the show. I look forward to hearing about this match with Silas here after Sunday. We wish you luck, and of course,
sir.
We will definitely have you back on.
Yes, I can't wait. We'll have to talk about it. See if you guys picked up some of the Easter eggs I throw down in the match.
Okay.
All right.
We're looking for them. Yep. All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Sampson.
All right,
Samson. Thanks a lot for your time, brother. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, as always. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sampson. Pretty good. Well, and just like that, Sampson's gone. We thank Sampson for coming on the show, man. Big fan of that guy, man. I like the thing about him, man, is that he's always working to get better, and he's 43 years old. Like, I'm 40 something, and I'm working on getting winding down. I'm not working on getting better. No, don't put up fingers. Nobody needs to see your finger. Nobody needs to know because I'm, in a couple of months I'm going to hold up my fingers here, and when I hold up the big 50, you know what I mean? That's going to be a problem, and that's just two. That's just two middle fingers, John. That doesn't count.
Yeah. Difference is though, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm good. I'm happy.
You ever see that? Are you a Saturday Night Live guy? Like, is that? Do you? What was the? Molly Shannon did the character. I'm 50, 50 years old, and I like to punch and kick and punch. Sally O'Malley. That's it.
That's me. Sally O'Malley. That's me. I'm 50 and I like to nap and buy 80s toys. Yeah. So take my Metamucil.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. I'm not gonna get too deep into this shit because it's gross. But I was watching the Golden Girls the other day because I don't care what y'all say. Right. I love that show. I will watch it over and over again until I die.
Awesome show. Show.
And Sophia made a comment about how corn is her enemy. And I'm about to turn 50 years old. For the first time, I pulled up ChatGPT and I went, "Hey, ChatGPT, why is corn going to be my enemy here soon when I get older?" Because that shit, man, is like, we're about to have those things happen to us, John, that the old man shit is coming. It's already started, but it's coming full force here soon on us, I think. This next decade is going to be interesting.
It does not take long, brother. I blinked and I'm old. I don't know what happened, but you look at it this way, makes you feel any better. We'll both sit here and profess our love for the Golden Girls. I love that show. The show is amazing. I'm getting ready to be 50. You're way, way behind me.
Way behind.
6 months. Those nice old ladies from when we were little kids and watching.
Were their age?
Dude, they're 50 to 55 is what they're supposed to be when that show started. I think Blanche, the old sex pot, was like 53. I mean, that's somebody right now that I went to high school with. So, I don't know what happened, man. But I want to be in a retirement community in Florida with my girlfriends. So, yeah. Come on, man. I guess we're not doing Florida. I guess we're going up to Chicago, Green Bay.
There you go.
Michigan area. So
there you go.
Make sure you scout out a good place, man, because you got to have room for me.
Look, I've been telling my parents they're going to Shady Pines the first chance I get. So I don't know if you want to do a double up deal and send your mom there too. We could just put them all three of them away at the same time.
You remember that complicated relationship I had with my father. I used to tell him, man, hey, old man, the first time you fall and you're not up by a 3 count, in you go.
To the home, my friend, to the home.
Oh Lord,
oh, man. Well, we've been going for a while here, man. We've got another control center this week. I was a big fan of how the control center turned out last week. I am so thankful that these promotions are being so gracious and letting us use their audio for these videos. Thank you to everyone. I've got thank yous again. We've got 5 shows to cover right now. And I thank all of them being involved for letting us use their audio, starting with Friday night. Oh, I see. Okay. Starting with Friday night, John, Retinal Pro Wrestling is having a show called Heavy Bells at the Trim Tab Brewing Company in Birmingham, Alabama. Big Booty Judy is going to be there. Never complete without a Big Booty Judy sighting. The debut of Ron Bass Jr.
Dude, that is crazy.
Intriguing, is it not? Ron Bass Jr. Yeah.
Ron Bass, listen, man, you talk about kind of the original Lesnar prototype that never quite caught on. Dude, his father was a monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always think of Ron Bass as being like that extra piece in that Survivor Series match in like 88 or 87 or whatever it was, and being like, damn, man, he just was there, and then all of a sudden he was gone from us, at least in WWF he was.
Yep.
But I'm going back and watching a lot of this stuff, watching him show up in the other promotions, the territories before he got there, has been pretty cool to see though, because that's a rough and tumble dude, man.
Yeah, he was no joke. He was a legit tough guy.
Yeah. Also on this Retinal Pro Wrestling show, Heavy Bells, Friday, August 15th at Trim Tab Brewing Company. We've got Eli Riley is going to take on Locksmith. Stephen Michaels is going to take on Colt Bain. And then we've got a big tag team match, John. The Carnies are going to take on Finesse and No Avail. We were able to catch up with both sides of this match. Let's start with where did I put? Let's start with Kerry Awful of the Carnies.
No, I think Maxwell is right. I don't like that everybody seems to have forgot that the Carnies are the cornerstone of Retinal. All anybody can talk about is totally plastic finesse and no avail, and I get it. I understand the popularity. Trust me, they are opposite sides of the same coin of the things I love about professional wrestling. I watched it since day one of Finesse going to wrestling school, putting one foot in front of the other as they became something bigger than themselves, trying to represent something for people that don't have that. And they do it the right way every time with a smile on their face. Always the uphill battle and no avail. Oh my God, just this bundle of just chaos. Like I get anxiety sometimes when I listen to you talk because it's just like, what do they mean? But the truth is that's a lie I just told. I get it. You're eccentric, eclectic, odd. And I love it. You're an absurdist, an artist that craves violence. And well, like I said, you and Finesse are just opposite sides of the same coin that spins around and teases me. Enough to remind me about what I love about professional wrestling, but everything that I have failed and can't become again. I can never become a righteous man again. And I don't know if I have the heart to test the boundaries to shake things up. So I think it's time I get my thunder back the right way, because I'm sick of everyone else singing y'all's praises. And no, it's not just for me or Maxwell or Iggy or Hunters, for everyone at Retinal. They deserve recognition too, and you're taking it from them as well. So I'm going to bring it down a few notches, make it real serious. I'm going to love watching you crash and burn and feel alone just like me.
Wow.
Ooh.
I tell you what.
He's got some angst. He's got some pent up angst in there, man.
And the gift of gab, man, that was one hell of a promo. I mean, that was 2 minutes of seamless telling us what was going on, man. I believe in Kerry Awful right now.
I could feel the emotion, brother.
Yeah, seriously, man. But so there's emotion on both sides of this thing. No Avail heard Kerry Awful's promo, and he had a response.
I was going to talk about all the things that I'd done in Pro Wrestling. I was going to talk about the history that me and Finesse had made. I was going to talk about how much that I respect Nick Iggy and Kerry Awful and the Carnies. I was going to talk about how I had put so much blood, sweat, and tears into Retinal Pro Wrestling because there's no one who is more punk and DIY and believes in those ethics than me. And then I started thinking that everything that the Carnies have done, I've already accomplished. That everything that Max is sitting here talking about, how they need to bring prominence back to the Carney name in Retinal Pro Wrestling, is a load of bullshit. Because before they hit the no avail button, they didn't know what a full building looked like. So now, this coalition of middle-aged dads who have never seen a gym in the past 20 years really want to get uppity with no avail of all people. They want to challenge no avail and Finesse. They want to put their tag team titles on the line against no avail and Finesse, like I single-handedly aren't gonna put them in the ground? Sure. Fuck it. There's no one else on the roster who could do it. I'll put the Carnies out of their misery. Kerry, I respected you. You were a friend of mine, a mentor. But if you need me to stomp your chest in, if Nick needs me to cave his skull in, and if Max needs me to rip his lips off so I don't have to hear that goofy-ass southern accent anymore, by all means, hit the no avail button. Please. Just know it comes with consequences. Thank God. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Hit the no avail button, John. I dare you.
Oh, I'm hitting it. I need the button. I need the button. Where's the button?
His mouth is hanging open.
No avail is my new did we just become best wrestler in
Yup.
Did we? Yup. Dude. No avail. Holy shit.
Coming with the
I am
smoke.
so down. Oh. Dude, I want to get in the car and drive to Birmingham right now. Holy crap.
Man. Yeah, these guys are ready to go, man.
Awesome.
These guys are ready to get at it on Friday night, man. You guys, anybody near Birmingham, Alabama, and the Trim Tab Brewing Company,
go.
Gonna be a slobber knocker. My
Holy
gosh.
crap. So good. So good.
But we got more, John. Saturday, August 16th, Mutiny Wrestling Federation. They're having a show called Sky High. This is taking place at the Bentonville County Fairgrounds in Bentonville, Arkansas. Their ad says, get ready for high-flying, hard-hitting, family-friendly action as MWF takes over the exhibit hall at SOAR NWA for one unforgettable night of live pro wrestling. Bell time is 5:30. Arrive early and don't miss a single slam. See your favorite MWF stars in action, meet the wrestlers, and experience the excitement up close. And that's just part of the fun. SOAR NWA is an all-day family-friendly festival featuring hot air balloon glows and tethered rides, circus performers and a dedicated kids zone, a beer garden for the adults, live music, classic cars, and much more. And I haven't even gotten to the wrestling yet, John.
Wow.
Scheduled to appear.
Holy man, that's a yeah. I was gonna say, man, that's a take your family, man. That's a family day right there, brother.
Seriously, man. I we were joking about if I might get in the car and drive down, but that really is something I would do with my family, no question about it. 100%.
Yeah.
I would definitely. Balloon rides? Are you kidding me, man? Oh,
Dude, you had me at live music and classic cars, and I get to watch wrestling.
Right.
Dude, sign me up. Take my money.
well,
Here it is.
there is a long list of people already scheduled to appear at
Wow.
this event, John. Start with Magnificent Malico, Walker the 13th, Tootie Lynn from the NWA, Truman Hudson the 3rd, and Max Volume Beckett.
There's a misconception that because my name is Max Volume Beckett, that all I do is make noise. Don't be mistaken. It's so much more than that. You see, when I show up to a place, things turn up! And that will be no different come August 16th. See, I'm going to make my way up to Arkansas to make a deafening debut at Mutiny Wrestling Federation. Yes, I will bring noise, and yes, I will make waves. But one thing is for certain, I will be heard. So whichever poor soul steps into the ring with me at MWF, rest assured that you will be ruptured. And you will drown in the sound. Brace your ears!
I dig his energy, man. I dig his energy. I like that angle.
Dude, he is he is an energetic young man. For sure.
Yeah. And he's certainly got some volume. There ain't no doubt. Doubt about that, man. Jeez. Well, I'm not even done, John. I got more people going to be appearing at this show. Again, don't forget circus performers, beer garden, live music, classic cars. And now on top of everybody else I've already listed, the Megalodon, Keenan John's going to be there. Smokin' Eric Bronson's going to be there. Eli Perez, Manico is going to be there. And we're going to have the debut, John, of Ambrosia Bell.
Saturday, the 16th of August, I will be flying into, where? Bentonville, Arkansas, to make my debut at Mutiny Wrestling Federation in a singles match against Tootie Lynn. Can I call you Toots? Yes. Toots, I heard that you have a black belt. Now, I personally couldn't care less what you use to accessorize your pants with, but I will say this. I want to personally thank you because it takes a lot of courage to be the least photogenic person in that ring. That is no easy feat. And your fans, they love you so much. Their butts may be on backwards, but they sure do cheer for you when you're fighting, not just for yourself, but for them. Because they see themselves in you, which isn't really much. But I digress. While you've been sweating it out in some dingy little gym, I have been sculpting this. And come this Saturday, you'll be going home limping, wondering if you lost a match or survived the most fabulous natural disaster in wrestling history. And darling, I don't just win, I win beautifully. So when you're backstage later that night crying, you will have a gorgeous memory to look back on, courtesy of me.
Did she say butts on backwards? I love it so much.
Can I call you Toots?
Can I call you Toots?
Okay, and this is her debut.
Right.
Yep. Debut, or is this the debut for this in this promotion for her?
It's gotta be just in this promotion.
Dude, it's gotta be, because if this is her debut, dude, that is a better promo than 95% of anything I hear on any level. That was amazing. And it I don't care, brand new, kind of new to this promotion. I'm following this lady. Holy crap.
Yes.
Dude, I don't even need to see her wrestler. I just want to see her talk smack to everybody.
Yeah, right?
I am so in. I may have Googled while we were listening. It's a quick 17-hour drive. That's all I'm saying. We can be there.
Bentonville, Arkansas, man. We're on our way. So we're hitting Alabama on Friday night.
Wow.
Circling back through Bentonville on Saturday. Right.
Yeah, then we'll flip it and we'll hit it on the way, dude. It's a big circle. We're good.
Oh,
dude,
my God.
Real talk, that was one of the best promos indie-wise I've ever heard. And just overall wrestling-wise, that's top 10, man. That was awesome. Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
That was really, really good. Really impressed with her. You're right. I'm going to follow her too while we're sitting here talking. Make sure I follow her.
I've already clicked it, brother. Ambrosia Bell. We're bellheads now. We're bellheads. Tell what are we called? I don't know, but we're on the bandwagon. You please reach out to us and just talk shit on us. That's all I'm asking. That promo was awesome.
Yeah, it was, man. That was. I just followed her as well, man. I'm going to learn out. Jeez, yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't look like she's been around very long either, man. I'm really looking forward to learning more about this girl.
All the promos we've heard tonight so far, amazing.
Amazing. There's some really good talkers on, you know what I mean? There's some really good talkers on the indies. It really, really are, man. And people take them for granted. Well, if we're going to continue this trip, John, the next stop is going to be Sioux Falls, South Dakota on Saturday. New Sound Wrestling is having a show called The Hammer at the South Dakota Military Heritage Alliance in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The ad for this show says, join us at the Alliance in Sioux Falls as we honor the memory of the Hammer, Trent Hammer, with a night full of action-packed professional wrestling. Stay tuned to our social media accounts for match announcements and much more. 100% net proceeds to the Hammer family and Out of the Darkness walk for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So a good cause here. We're always a big fan of these kind of shows.
Absolutely.
On the card, we've got Jack Kruger in a fatal four-way against Webster Prince, Nino Hatchet, and Lumbermack. We've got Joss C, who we've talked about before in other promotions. Joss C is going to be there, taking on Stampede Larkin. We're going to have a match for the NSW Alternative title between Jamison McGregor and the defending champion, Alvin Falcone.
Just a few short months ago, I won this, the New Sound Wrestling Alternative Championship. But ever since that day, something's felt off. Doesn't feel quite right. All because I went back and I looked at the footage and I realized that Jamison McGregor's shoulders weren't down when the referee counted 3. I mean, sure, yes, the ref still counted 3 and my hand was raised, but still something feels wrong about this. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't make me feel like I am more than a conqueror. So I think I'm going to do what it means to be more than a conqueror. And that's doing the right thing, even though it's hard. So August 16th, New Sound Wrestling presents The Hammer, a show in honor of my brother, Trent Hammer. I'm going to do the right thing. So Jameson, I'm going to put this alternative championship on the line against you. Because I need to prove to you that I can beat you, and I need to prove to myself, most of all, that I am more than a conqueror. It's doing the right thing. So what do you say? You, me, alternative championship, August 16th. Let's do the right thing.
Do the right thing, John.
Got a show. Got to do it. Add it to the list, Bob.
Oh, we're just getting started on this one, my friend. Let me keep going here. This Trent Hammer memorial show, 100% of the net proceeds to the Hammer family and the Out of Darkness Walk for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We've also got Sackett and O'Shea are going to be there. They're going to defend the tag titles against Friend or Foe. Brandon Nitro will be there taking on Drake Holloway. Dexter Daniels is going to battle Tommy Douglas. In a women's contest, Sadie Bell is going to take on Allie Quinn. And the New Sound Championship will be contested for, will be on the line in the main event as Gino Rivera looks to unseat Uriah Upton.
Hi, Gino. You miss me? Because I sure have missed you. And you see, I would have said something earlier, but I've been doing the same thing you've been doing. I've been making towns. I've been going state to state. I've been making memories. Winning championships. But, Gino, you got a problem. Because you seem to have forgotten. We have cameras nowadays. Because you see, back then, the cameras weren't on. But today, they were. So let me take you back. Let me roll back the footage of what actually happened that day. Single-handedly, right? No, not one bit. Because you see, Gino, I think you know you can't beat me without outside help. And that one time, the one time you got it, you took it to the fullest of advantages. And I give you credit, you are ever the opportunist. But this time, there is no help. That won't work. You are done. So, August 16th, the Alliance, I get my get back. And Gino, if you want to come back, I have no problem making this series 2-1.
Woo! Uriah Upton is serious business for this week, man. Serious business for this week. Well, listen, that's the benefit show again. South Dakota Military Heritage Alliance, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, New Sound Wrestling. The show is called The Hammer. It is in honor of the memory of the Hammer, Trent Hammer. 100% of the net proceeds to the Hammer family and Out of the Darkness Walk for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Guys, if you're near Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it's a good cause, and it sounds like it's going to be one hell of a wrestling show.
Absolutely.
Well, the road trip continues on Sunday, John, as we leave Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We got to head to UPW. We got to head to the Upper Peninsula. We've been talking about it with Sampson already. UPW Pro Wrestling at the UP State Fair. at the grandstand at the UP State Fairgrounds in Escanaba, Michigan. Sampson, as we discussed earlier, is going to be there defending the UPW title against Silas Young. That match alone is worth the price of admission. But keep going. Jay Sin versus Josh Bain. The UPW OGs are going to be there taking on the Society. BJ Allen versus Dan Jarrus. Danny Moe is going to defend the UPW women's title against Zandra Lee, the former champion. The match that we were talking about earlier that we are on the lookout for. Onyx Andretti defending the American title against Nerd Rage Melvin Hayes. That one has the potential to steal the show. We love Melvin Hayes, man. I'm looking forward to it. Like I told Silas or Sampson, the Silas match, the Nerd Rage match, and the Danny Moe match are going to be fantastic.
Dude,
the collective match has a chance to steal the show as well.
Phenomenal card, dude. That card is stacked.
And like we were talking about with that other show, it's at the UP State Fair. You're already going to be at the State Fairgrounds. I mean, it's
dude, exactly. Make a day of it. Just enjoy everything that has to offer, and you get wrestling. And dude, this is a ridiculous card, and you're getting it at a state fair.
Yep.
Come on, man.
No doubt.
Outside, fresh air, and you get to see these guys. Come on, man. You can't get any better than that. No. That is the American day right there. Give it to me all day, every day.
Facts. And I tell you what, I jumped ahead a minute ago, but we will have the collective, as we discussed with Sampson. They're going to be there taking on Ghetto Gear Solid, John. And I told you, John, Tully Bertorelli was feeling himself. So is the collective. They sent me this.
You shall ask, and you shall receive, because UPW returns. And this time, we are going to make an impact to the UP State Fair. And who? The collective, Judge Jesse, and I take on Ghetto Gear Solid. Now you can take your vitamins and say your prayers all you want, boys. Because you are looking at the future of UPW, the most dominant faction in UPW, and that's the collective. So, take your vitamins and say your prayers, because I'm one hell son of a gun. And I'll see you at the State Fair, boys.
Believe it to be fact. I love that, man. I love the sound.
That thing is shit. That was awesome.
I'm going to send you a link to this so you can see the visual of it too, man. Just so cool, man.
Please.
They did such a great job. Tully is so good. Those guys are fantastic. We can't say enough good things about UPW.
Artistic is all get out, man. That guy.
Yo, hey, you and I were talking earlier about how we can barely draw stick figures, and this guy's out here making these videos with sound alterations and shit.
Dude, Tully, you're amazing, man.
He is, and he's got a hell of a wingman. All right, so final show. This is also on Sunday. Our friends at Extreme Global Championship Wrestling, they're having a show called Cyber Slam at the Center at Deltona in Deltona, Florida. Latin Fury is going to be there taking on mystery opponents for the tag titles. Who could that be? We'll have a special appearance by EGCW champion Venom. A TV title match, John, from Samuel C. is going to take on Nick Quinones. We actually caught up with both sides of this match. Let's hear from Samuel C. first.
You know something, Nick Quinones? Ever since you beat me to become the EGCW television champion, you made the company a living hell. And since I was gone for the past 2 years, I had to do a lot of thinking. I had to do a lot of change about myself on who I am. You see, I'm all about peace, love, and change in this society. You see, I care about the fans more than I care about myself. So on August 17th, EGCW Cyber Slam, you in control. I honestly don't care what kind of match we have for the EPW Television Champion. I just know I need to become a two-time champion, not for myself, but for the fans. So let's just change. Begin.
All right. Samuel C. wants that belt back for sure.
Two-time champ. He's coming.
Yeah, well, but in his way, my friend, in his way is the reigning champion, Nick Quinones.
Sam C., you recognize this? The title I've taken from you 2 years ago? The title that you lost and quit afterwards. Now you're back. Lewis brought you back for what? For you to be his knight in shining armor? Why? Because he lost control. He lost control when I beat his ass, and I'm going to do the same to you. Now, Sammy, you claim you're going to walk out of CyberSlam a two-time television champion when we damn sure know that's not going to happen. Now, the fans are in control, and I really don't give a damn if it's a falls count anywhere, 2 out of 3 falls, or if they even choose a special guest ref, because either way, I am walking in 945 days as EGCW Television Champion, and I am walking out 946. But Sammy, I just want you to know for sure, you're not going to be walking out. Because I am going to embarrass you, and I'm going to break you and kick the living dog shit out of you. Because when you wake up in the hospital, Sammy, one thing's going to be perfectly clear. You are going to need to apologize to your little adoptive family and let them know how much of a failure their little stepdaddy became. Because, Sammy, I am the king of battle, your reigning and defending EGCW Television Champion, and I am here and always will be blazing the future.
All right, now that one sounds like it's going to be a hell of a match, man. These two guys are raring to go.
There's some bad blood there, man.
Sammy the stepdaddy is a failure. That's what I took from that promo.
that was low.
That wasn't it though. Oh my God. Well, let's see what else we got on this show here. Oh, the vacant women's title, John, is going to be on the line. Speed Demon is going to take on Raven Knight, and also in a triple threat. So it's Speed Demon versus Raven Knight versus one of my new favorites, John, that I want to turn you on to, Gina Sequoia. I think she is great. Her presentation is fun. When you get a chance to go take a look at Gina Sequoia, let me know, because I think you're gonna like her as much as I do.
All right, I'll throw it on the list.
Yeah, right. No, that list isn't getting longer or anything.
I need some dot matrix printer paper.
Oh no, God damn it. All right, so now we really need to get out of here. We've got 2 Chase for the Case qualifier matches on Sunday at EGCW CyberSlam. Danny Taylor versus Rods in the first one. Stan Murphy versus Bobby Munoz versus Raging Dead in the second one. This will be Raging Dead's second match, I believe, on the card. We're going to get to the other one in a second. We've also got a Rico Moon Open Challenge on this card. And for the hardcore title, here's Raging Dead appearing again. Raging Dead's going to take on Cole Bohannon for the hardcore title. Here's what Raging Dead had to say about that match.
I'm hungry. Okay, hey, look at me. I'm Raging Dead. I'm the future EGCW Hardcore Champion. Okay, August 17th, I'm gonna be at the center in Deltona, and you're all gonna be there because you're in control, okay? There's a sandwich calling my name.
What? What just happened? Huh. Bye, EGCW. I guess I'll see you next month.
Dude, that's another one, John. You got to see that promo. When you see it, you're gonna laugh your ass off even more. Like,
dude, that is hilarious.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that does it for the Control Center, John, and it looks like it might finally do it for this show. We've been going for a little while, about 3 hours here, and I am worn out. How about you?
I am ready to go visit the little boy's room.
Yes, me too. So I won't hold John up on that very long. Next week, we decided here on the show, next week we will be watching Monster Factory and the Larry Sharp Memorial Tournament 2025. Very much looking forward to that next week. Guys, again, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or Indy Wrestling Experience, on Indy Wrestling, on Twitter and Blue Sky, Indy Wrestling XP. Check out the Smug Mug. Check out the link tree. Check it all out. There's lots of cool content for you. We will be back next week with the watch along. See ya.
See you later, everybody. Thank you.